Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into round number 14 of the 2025 MotoOption Supercross Championship live here on Start Your Systems TV. I'm, of course, Kellen Brower, joined by Andrew Wood again this week in the booth. It's great to have A-Wood. He's been with us like 4 rounds in a row at this point. Always a fun time to have him in studio. And yeah, East Rutherford. We had chaos last week. We'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, we'll finally get to move back into a normal round. No triple crowns, no mud, none of this crap. Just a regular East Coast Supercross race.
Yeah, I'm excited for tonight. Yeah, we've had a lot of, it seems like so much back and forth. And for the most part, we get kind of until the finale, we get like a normal kind of set of races here. And should be here every week too, so can keep it consistent. No more schedule back and forth. So really excited for the racing tonight. Excited for the track. I think it looks really cool and interesting. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into the track in just a minute, but championship picture wise, 450 class, we've kind of talked about it being a bit of a foregone conclusion. And in the showdown last week, Cade Matherly took a huge step towards this East title. It seems like he's kind of getting himself into a situation where he could even lock this thing up around early, which is good for Cade because in the past we've seen late in championships, he hasn't been able to shut the door on a title fight. Now he might not need to. It might just be a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, I think this is easily the most comfortable he's been down the stretch and the best that he's looked. I think, it's always been kind of bad results, bad starts, a mix of all that. It seems like he's really locked up his consistency as well as having the speed to go out there and just straight up win races. So he's in a really good spot, and his 450 championship kind of started a 3-horse race, with one kind of pulling away. Now more of a 2-horse race, but still Braden Carter kind of looking really good to take this thing home as well.
So let's quickly talk about this because a lot of you guys watched the sign-off last week, and Seth Shirley had finished 3rd in the 450 main event after not qualifying out of the last chance qualifier, was 8th last week in Philadelphia in the LCQ, and then eventually people just pulled out of the race, and he raced the main event. There's been a rule change, big rule change in the Race Factory Gaming rulebook to reflect this. Seth Shirley was officially disqualified from racing last week. So let's talk about this rule real quick, and we'll pull it up on the screen for you guys. So here is the RF rulebook update that they put out a post yesterday talking about it. It says alternate racers will no longer be allowed for the main event and motos. If a racer who qualified for a main event or moto disconnects from the server, an alternate racer will not be allowed to replace them. This rule update will be effective immediately with the start of the 2025 SX season. The following racers and rounds have been adjusted to reflect this rule change. This initially happened with T. Lang at San Diego. Xander Brion at Indianapolis had that happen as well. Jax Lindsay got in at Birmingham, and then Seth Shirley and Brandon Cocroft both got in to the main event last week at Philly. They have all been disqualified from those races retroactive of this week, and the points have been reflected of that. We'll get into that in a minute, but yeah, all the points are moved, the rounds were adjusted, and yeah, a rule has changed. So I don't know. I guess good news, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm happy with it. I feel like people said it's been happening for years, but I feel like it's because once we started automating scripts, they used to be built by hand. There's no way that they would just be homologating people into the race, that didn't actually qualify. So I think it's good. I think it's something that was just missed when they went to automated scripts. And I'm glad that this is kind of moving forward. It's going to be, you have to qualify to make it, and there's no kind of free passes and no way to kind of game the system for a championship fight. So I think it's good, and they handled it decently, and we'll move on from it, and it won't happen again.
Absolutely. So like I said, we will move on to that. We'll talk about the standings in a second, but at least for tonight, I'll give one more refresh to this because I forgot to before we started, but at least for tonight, thus far as of about 5 minutes ago, which that was 4 minutes before quali ended, and yes, it is official. Seth Shirley did qualify fastest tonight here in East Rutherford, so clearly fired up from this whole situation. Wyatt Grant second, Tharp, Carter, Leclerc inside of the top 5. I mean, hey, Leclerc, we haven't even talked about this last week. First win of 2025 for Alexis Leclerc last week at Philly. That was obviously big for him to get back in the winner's circle, and it really does seem like, at least in the last 3 or 4 races, the old version of Alexis Leclerc is now coming around in Supercross, which could make a little fun run here in the last 4 races of this championship.
Yeah, and I think if you're someone like Eagland who's kind of in the championship outside looking in, I mean, don't see him in the top 8 in qualifying here tonight, but you need more spoilers to be up there and be consistently between you if you have a great race and Braden Carter. The more competition up there, the better. So when Leclerc hits his stride, he is a dangerous man on the racetrack. So I think it's good for that. I also want to shout out Wyatt Grant qualifying second. I mean, unreal to see him up there. Normally in the 250 class, and it's cool to see him. Right?
Yeah.
Cool to see him going real fast in the 450 class, out qualifying some really heavy hitters.
Yeah, I mean, the speed has been there for Wyatt of late, too. It's really cool to see him shine through here on the 450 tonight. Talking about 250 East, and yeah, Cade Matherly, fastest again over Johnny Padani, Dylan Delaire, João Victor, and Hollenbeck. Look, Padani got the win in the showdown. He gained a little bit of points on Matherly, but Matherly stayed close, got good points at Philly. If you're Padani, there's not enough races left for really to pull this back, but right now, it seems like they're pretty much matching speed on the racetrack. I guess if you're Padani, you hope bad start for Matherly tonight and you can go win another one.
Yeah, I mean, you never give up. You always keep going. I think Padani, you catch that stride too at the end of Supercross. You carry this momentum in outdoors. He's a really fast rider, and I think, if Cade has a really bad night and explodes and misses the main event, we saw it to start the 450 class in multiple races this season with guys that we thought were going to contend missing the mains. I think you just pray that something like that happens, or a really bad race that he can't work his way up from, and you're right back in the title fight. So keep pushing, keep trying to win races, and he's got the speed to show it. These two really separating themselves from the field in qualifying.
Absolutely. Fastest qualifier again for Cade Matherly. Shout out to Sacrificial in our Twitch chat, subbing up for his 4th month over there on Twitch. So appreciate the support as always. Standings real quick. Here's an update after Seth Shirley's disqualification bumps him from 2nd to 3rd in the standings. Carter's up 22 on Colby Eagland with 4 rounds to go, and he is looking to get this gap out over that 25-point mark, maybe clinch it around early as well. But yeah, for Shirley, Leclerc, these other guys now, it's pretty much a fight for either 2nd or 3rd place on the racetrack because Carter has established a pretty comfortable gap. East championship-wise, like we said, Padani the win in Philly got a little bit closer. It's now between him and Matherly, but less races than even the 450 class. As we mentioned, it's going to be tough for Padani to jump back over Matherly in the standings with only 3 rounds left to go in this series, 2 of them being true East rounds, and then, of course, the showdown at Salt Lake City. But we'll see if he can at least take a step there here tonight at Philadelphia. Let's go ahead and take a look at this racetrack, which we have not talked much about yet from this overhead vantage point here. Very similar racetrack to Arlington 2018. We have back-to-back whoop sections, which is going to be very dramatic here tonight. But why don't you go ahead and tell me, Andrew, what you're seeing on this racetrack that you like?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of similarities to a lot of old tracks, but these football stadiums, it's kind of hard. So many things. What I think is really interesting is seeing off the start that's really far in the distance there. You can see it cuts across 2 full lanes entering the 3rd one. So a very long sweeper. Might see some guys going for an outside gate as that line is pretty good if you can really carry some speed in, sweep around. Or if you're on the inside, you have to make really a left-hand 90, drive pretty far, and then another left-hand 90, short rhythm section off the start into a really long rhythm section. We've been kind of seeing that, and I think it bodes well, lets the guys kind of warm up, right? It's hard to not have a Supercross triple or whoops or something right off the start, and those kind of things will determine a lot of the race. Those are really the only 2 rhythm sections, and then turn into a couple back and forth sections that we've seen, big Supercross triple, double, or triple single. Then a tricky little step on, step off, right-hand 90 into the finish line. Your riders can go on, off, inside, outside. That's kind of tricky, maybe double over. And then a couple fast sections back and forth, but 2 whoop sections back-to-back before completing the lap where they would get back to where they entered on the start straight. And those are going to be really tricky for these guys. If you're having trouble in the whoops, then that's definitely somewhere you can kind of get tense and really struggle to kind of stay on 2 wheels and keep racing forward.
Absolutely. Let's take a little bit closer view of this track, and I'll go ahead and just putt around so we can take a quick look at it here. But yeah, shorter start straight. Whoa, as we're going to restart right away there. So apologies. We're not going to get a better look at this. I got to change from photo mode to regular mode. That's what you guys are seeing right now with the weird screen here. But yeah, 250 heat number 1 will be coming up right now, and those guys are already heading to the gate. Definitely like the back-to-back whoop sections, as you mentioned. Those are going to be really interesting to see, and I don't know if you saw my lap from earlier, but man, they're kind of gnarly. There's some big ones here tonight, so hopefully the guys are going to beat them down a little bit, because right now they're pretty gnarly.
Yeah, definitely. I've been watching your preview laps, and that's probably the hardest part of the track. I told you if I was you, I would go through, get 1 run by itself, and then clip that in and just ride around it the rest of the laps, going out there and showing the racetrack off for you guys. But yeah, you see that right now. Super Gonna mean a lot. I feel like especially in the 250 class, they seem to be the ones that struggle with the whoops more. The 450s are kind of a little bit more settled in that fifth gear lug technique that a lot of the guys use. Kind of seems to work, but I do also like after that, you have that step onto that jump across the start. I don't know if it's lowered on the inside, and you kind of go single, maybe triple or quad double there, but going to be interesting. That rhythm, yeah, followed by that long rhythm. And I think that's where you're going to see most of the kind of mistakes as far as rhythm section wise for these guys. But yeah, this photo mode, I've never seen that. It's gnarly.
Yeah, it's
trying to adjust to all the different views with the depth of field.
Yeah, it's simply just to take like good screenshots quickly for me that I have it set up. But then we just have the regular mode here. All right, so here's your 250 East competitors out here on the track, getting a quick look at who is in 250 heat number 1 tonight. Johnny Pedani will be in this one as well. Of course, we'll see Cade Matherly in the second heat race as the fastest qualifier always is. But yeah, cool to see good names out here as per usual. Still a pretty stacked field going to the gate here tonight. And let's see who's going to get the all-important hole shot to kick this thing off. 9 riders go to the main event, and everyone else heads to the last chance qualifier a little bit early from here. And is it going to be Johnny Pedani down the far inside that's going to rip the hole shot? We'll look a little bit more middle here. Antonio Velati there on the 175 Honda. See if he get out of the gate here in 250 heat number 1. All right, let's get it going here in East Rutherford, folks. 250 heat 1 ready to launch. Here we go. Gate is down. Into turn number 1 we go. Who's going to get the nose out there? Looks like Pedani's got a good line on the inside. Will he control it? Yes, he will, but he goes down. He gets hit from behind, and Nicholas Langstrup grabs the hole shot and early race lead for the Neverland program. It's Gomez second, J.R. Reyes third, Ortiz fourth, and this is huge opportunities for some of these guys because there's a big gap behind them now.
Yeah, a lot of riders down in that first corner. Look at this, a move up the inside from Gomez, whips right in front of his face, a la Barsha and Muscan right there. Takes over the lead, but we see a triple here. Oh, Langstrup into the back of Gomez, and that's going to allow J.R. Reyes into the lead right in front of Kilian Ortiz. You see this on, off. One of them electing to drop in, go single, but JR a little bit faster with that outside line here, trying to pull away.
Yep, JR Reyes down the inside, loses his front end, and now we have got Kilian Ortiz going to the race lead and getting up right in front of Evan Cormack, lays him down onto the ground, so he goes from a good start out of a transfer spot just like that. Here's those dreaded whoops, and Reyes is struggling in them here on lap number 1. Gets passed up by Ben Kaifa, who goes up into second. Reyes back to third. You got Langstrup trying to get down the inside. J.R. Reyes is not having a good time in the whoops right now. And then he gets hit from behind. Maverick Snyder lays it down. A lot of guys jumping over his head. Most of those guys jumping up onto that table off into this corner right here. And in the middle of all of this is Johnny Pedani. He is now in a transfer spot, but he's getting checked right here. Cody Branson going the opposite rhythm here through this rhythm lane. Oh, and he tries to jump onto his back and almost goes down.
He's going to send it.
Oh, man, Pedani going for it right now. Look at Cody Branson up there trying to go for it as well. Man, oh man, this racetrack already biting a lot of guys out here.
Yeah, Pedani put himself in a blender there just with that bad start and having to try to fight through the field, but then also cross-jumping. Yeah, Nerona off track right under our camera there. Pedani gets another spot, but he's still chasing Cody Branson. Almost jumped up to the inside and landed on him. That would have been his own mistake, but Pedani here, I think he's got strength in the whoops compared to all the rest of these guys. And look at him try to send it down the inside. Easy pass on Cody Branson there. Moves up on this two-rider battle right in front of him. Trying to get a drive. Gets a little bit of huckabuck, but still carries so much speed. Then this jump across the start right here. I really like that. Gets it cleanly. Must be tricky to get that drive. And another position as he keeps moving forward.
Yeah, that shows you the difference of not getting that line. As 3 riders past that gentleman that was, I think, in the 4th spot right there. Look at that quad single to the inside for Pedani. Moves his way into 3rd place. Ortiz has lost the lead. Ben Kaifa has taken it over out front on the 97. So we did not see what happened to the 47 of Ortiz, but it is Kaifa now leading across the line here on to lap number 4. Ortiz second, Pedani third. Reyes still holding on to 4th right now over Langstrup. He cases the finish line jump. He's getting a little bit wild. J.R. Reyes out here, kind of like watching Hardy Munoz in the 250 class, and it's a good fight watching these guys try to hang on for transfer spots, especially these whoops, man. Can Reyes get a better drive this time? Oh, we're hopping, we're bouncing, gonna lose a position. Watch out for Cody Branson putting the nose up the inside right there. And now we got Langstrup almost coming to us top. We got riders going every which direction on the track. 3 wide into the corner, getting passed up by Gomez, and no drive out of the corner for J.R. Reyes. Man, oh man, those whoops look brutal.
Yeah, these 250 riders really struggling as Gomez gets a really nice line here. Going to triple pass. Ooh, has to check up because those riders are swerving all over the place. So he's going to get a twofer right there up the inside, just trying to make something happen. He's showing a little bit more speed than Velati.
Oh,
and who goes
Velati
into Branson.
What
he was not even close to being able to make that happen. Something must have happened or might have messed up his rhythm right before that. Those two both lose a spot or two. And look at this. This is just a freaking train of these 250 riders. And all these guys just seem to be making huge mistakes, really struggling with those whoops, Kellen, especially that second set. These 250 riders just really struggling to hit them consistently. Will now chasing JR Reyes, chasing JR Branson, or sorry.
JR Branson.
So many JRs up the inside.
Man, this is for our transfer spots right here, actually. Will Now is in it. Antonio Velati is out. Will Now is going to get a spot. We got a rider down on the start straight. It's Caden, SPX Performance, who's on the deck right there. So I think Velati moves up into 8th, and this is 9th now. And then going down right there.
Reyes?
What is that? What is going on right
Cormac?
here? Okay, so yeah, it is Caden in 9th. Someone's going backwards on the racetrack right now underneath these guys, getting sideways, going the other direction. It's Caden in the final transfer spot. Cormac, who we saw go down early in the race from 3rd, is now in 10th. And right behind that is Langstrup. Let's stick with this for a minute because, this is about to get spicy as well. Down the inside, a nice block pass right there. Loses it back, though. Caden gets him right back, and Cormac has to check up. And then Caden goes down, and Cormac gets the spot anyway. But here comes Langstrup.
Yeah, that was the first time we've seen that jump over the table line. Actually seemed a little bit faster, and he cut down for it, but then just makes a mistake tripling out of that. Evan Cormac able to stay on 2, but he has Langstrup all over his rear end right now, trying to make it through the whoops. Langstrup really not doing good. 2 riders down here, so those are 2 passes for them. The second whoop section is where everyone's really struggling. Another rider couldn't get on top of him. It almost looks like there's a spacing gap like in the middle that these guys are struggling with because they start going down the second half of that whoop section, but these guys all over it right now. Langstrup making another move. I have no idea. All these riders are so far.
This is 8th right now, Langstrup, and Caden Wharton moved into 9th. He's trying to make a pass as well as they're up on Evan Cormac's rear tire now. And Cormac cases the triple and goes down. That's going to give a spot to Zhao Victor, who just made it into the final transfer spot. And Maverick Snyder's trying to come through with them. So these are a couple of the more heavy hitters who we've seen running up there, getting in, back here in the mix. And going down was Caden Wharton. He lays it down, loses a position. So that should promote... I think Maverick Snyder into a transfer spot now. Yes, it is. So then Caden on the 424 Cowie behind them moves into 10th. And just behind that is Antonio Velati. And now Maverick Snyder goes down in 9th, and that's going to give Caden the position. But here's your transfer spot battle because here's Antonio Velati trying to go for it again on the 175.
Yeah, Caden has a lot of pressure all over him. Ooh, slams the brakes there, got a little bit out of sorts. So Velati's going to get the spot right there, and that moves him into 8th. So Caden's still in 9th place right now. He has the final chancer. White flag is out for the leader. These guys have been going back and forth. So many mistakes. 2 riders down. I think those are, not lappers.
JR Reyes was one of them.
And Zhao Victor, who was down right there.
And here comes Emmett Sund on the 70 Yamaha, quadding into the back fender there, over there of JR Reyes. Let's go up front and watch the battle for the lead real quick because Ben Kafa's got Padani right behind him with a half lap to go, trying to get up onto that table and off a little bit short. Crosses over in front of Padani. Padani has to check up not to get into the back tire. Look at Kafa tripling in. He's trying to go for it. He triples again and goes down, and Padani just sneaks by him to get the spot. So after all of this mayhem, Johnny Padani is going to win this heat race. 2 corners to go. Can't believe that he was able to get up there and battle Kafa because he was about 7 seconds down 3 laps ago. But on, off into the finish, and Johnny Padani wins 250 Heat 1 here in East Rutherford. Kafa, Gomez, Branson, Ortiz in the top 5. Velati 6th, Zhao Victor 7th. Caden Wharton is 8th now, and Emmett Sund has made it into 9th. So JRA is going to try one more send here, and Emmett Sund is making some mistakes. Here comes JRA as he's tripling. He's tripling into the corner. Oh, a mistake for Sund. And look at Reyes goes off the track. Sund goes for the triple and cases it, but Reyes gets the position. We also have Ben Nerona right here, who goes for the spot. Look at JRA is defensive into the second to last corner, goes over table. Sund's just trying to go around the outside and get it anyway. Oh, it's close, but it's Reyes by a nose. By 1/10 of a second, gets it over Sund and Nerona at the flag.
have a prediction that one of those guys, Sun or Nerona, are going to get in. I'm not sure. J.R. Reyes did go around that triple, but he did go really slow. But I feel like with the amount these riders were down on the racetrack and kind of getting kicked off, shot off to the side, I'm assuming there's going to be some cuts. So we'll keep our eye around that transfer spot. 1/10 back to Sun and 3/10 back from there to Nerona. And something did change. Yes. He jumped him. 38. Nerona jumped from
both of them because he was 11th. And J.R. Reyes goes back to 11th from 9th. So Nerona makes it in from P11.
Sun stayed in 10th, one spot out. So that's, oh my gosh. I knew there was so much going on there. Wow, Nerona just got gifted 2 positions. He was only 4/10 back from it.
Hey, K-Dog, first main event, I believe, for Caden Wharton right there. Shout out to him. Good job there. And yes, Johnny Padani does take the victory. All right, we'll be right back on the other side of this break. We're going to take a quick commercial break, rest our voices after that one, and we'll see you guys on the other side of this break.
MotoOption, a family-owned and operated motorsports apparel and accessories company. We design and print all of our apparel in-house, ensuring top quality from start to finish. Created by racers, for racers. Our products are racer tested and approved by a team of motorsports enthusiasts just like you. We value our customers because they're not just buyers, they're part of the MotoOption family. Join us and ride with confidence. Visit shopmotooption.com and gear up today. In Throttle, we trust.
Alrighty, welcome back in studio here, guys, with us round number 14 of MotoOption Supercross. Coming at you live from East Rutherford. That was 250 heat number 1, and what a wild race to start off our night. We theorized before the race the whoop section would be the catalyst, and so far, definitely true. These guys are biting the dust in it.
Yeah, I think the 250 class, I mentioned it before the racing even started, they'd struggle, and I think the 450 class might be a little bit better, but if I'm one of those guys that didn't make it in, or even if I did and I barely made it, I'm going to go hit those whoops back and forth for about 30 minutes until my LCQ, because I'm going to try to get those things dialed, and that's such a big factor. You saw how many riders were down, just stay on 2 wheels. Even though he did have the speed, Padani put in the fastest lap of the race, second to last lap, to kind of get up there towards the front, but I think it's really him just staying on 2 wheels, nailing the whoops, and hitting that big rhythm section.
Yes, indeed. All right, here we go. 250 heat number 2 is on the gate, 6 minutes plus a lap. Top 9 go to the main event, and this is where we will see our current points leader, Cade Matherly, also lined up as well. Taking the Padani route, far inside gate for him as well. We'll see if it works out for him. Christopher McPherson going 3 from the inside of the box on the 317. 9 go through. Let's find out who they are. It's heat 2 in East Rutherford. Off and running, little nose out for the 61, I believe that was going into turn number 1. The 57 gets there first. That's Jared Gummison. He will get the whole shot. The defender's all fun machine out front early. It is Hollenbeck second, Nygren third, and Dylan Dallaire in fourth, with Matherly rounding outside the top 5. But Gummison, that's a good start, and also a good sign to see him get that 3-3 through the first rhythm section. You thought it'd give him a bit more of a gap. It hasn't yet.
Yeah, this start is so much cleaner than the first 250 race. Maybe those guys saw it and were like, hey, let's not do that. Gummison still holding on to this thing, but he has a huge train behind him. Really confused about the Padani and Matherly gate selection. Gate 1 feels like it's way more into the bales early on, and then a weird start. If I'm them, I'm picking gate 12 to 15. That's where the whole shots are coming from, and that's probably the easiest line to get it. So we'll see if they move. Ooh. They're Gummison, though, getting a little bit sketchy in the whoops, but still holding on to the lead.
That was, I mean, almost kind of luck that he just bounced onto that whoop perfectly, landed right up on top of it, still holds the lead like you mentioned. Garrett Hollenbeck starting to put the heat on the EVP number 40 Honda. Good ride for Hollenbeck up here early on. And these are two guys that we've seen around the races for a few years at least, and good to see them have a good run in the heat race. Look at Hollenbeck over top of him, going to jump to the outside. Gummison defends the inside nicely in that 90-degree corner and hangs on to the race lead. Getting up in the mix here as well is Dylan Dallaire. And we know, Awood, Dylan Dallaire has been so fast of late in the last few weeks, but has not really converted it yet into results, at least so far in this heat race. He's up here. You think he's going to be the fastest of these three, and can he make the passes as well?
Yeah, I think he's the fastest for sure. He showed it so much good qualifying in the last couple rounds of this East Coast series. But he seems to kind of struggle to translate it to the race and also keep it on 2 wheels. But Hollenbeck looking really good. Oh, and Dylan Dallaire goes down hard, doing a barrel roll into the whoops, bouncing on that last into the berm, bouncing off that last whoop. So he's going to lose only 2 spots there after going down. It's kind of crazy how far that lead 3 kind of separated themselves. But Cade Matherly making it by, just kind of cruising, not really pushing too much. He just needs to make it through, following Jeff Cooper. Garrett Hollenbeck, though, San Diego local, trying to make some moves into the bales, just a little bit unable to pull alongside Gummison, but I think he had the run. He's just got to kind of lock it up here. Take a deep breath, Hollenbeck, shake your hands out over the next finish line, and kind of lock back in.
Yep, spending a little bit too much time between the lanes right now as he comes up short on that tabletop, going to tuck to the inside. And as you mentioned, Jeff Cooper in the 3 spot right now, feeling the heat from your points leader, 21 points up in the championship right now, Cade Matherly, with 3 rounds to go. Just trying to make it into the main event out of this heat race, give himself a good gate pick going to the main event. This would be a pass for 3rd on Jeff Cooper if he can get it done. Into the whoops we go. Both of them much more stable, and we've seen some of the other riders there so far, but it's this other set of whoops that's really biting people. You see some bouncing going on, and Matherly thought about putting a nose up there on Cooper, but Cooper slams the door shut, keeps the power going on that Yogi Designs Husqvarna, and holding on to 3rd place. That triple in right there, too. Also the big line for the 250s. Cooper kind of swooping to the right side of the track and then back over to the left. Matherly hanging tough as well. Dallaire picked it up from that crash, and he's also right with this group. This is about to turn into a 3-rider battle. You almost have to imagine maybe Matherly's like, all right, I'm going to just get Jeff Cooper quickly here, because otherwise he's going to hear Dylan Dallaire right behind him before long.
Yeah, Dallaire just jumped off the side of the Supercross triple, so lost just a hair of this battle. So a little bit of breathing room for Cade, but I think, Cade doesn't want to push it. He wants to just stay on 2 wheels, kind of ride, get his consistency up. He has the speed, and I think transfer in the main event. He knows he's probably going to win the championship if he keeps making main events. I don't think he's really going to push it, but now with seeing Dallaire kind of throwing in a nose there, I think he might start to try to push, as Dallaire has the speed, and he's now right on the rear wheel of these 3, and Cade is going to have to push. Dallaire's trying to make a move up the inside.
Yeah, Matherly's officially sandwiched here, and if Dallaire maybe landed that triple a little bit cleaner, he would have had it. You see Dallaire going to an alternate line right here and really missed the rhythm section, so that just takes him right back out of the battle. But if you're Matherly here, like you mentioned, just about making those main events is critical. But seeing Padani win the opposite heat race already, does that make it a little bit more of a pressure situation for him? Because now you know your nearest rival in the championship has premium gate pick going into the main event, and you've got to do at least something to get kind of similar to that, right? Otherwise, he's going to get a good start and get away early, whereas Matherly might have to come through the field a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Cade, I do want to get top 3 in this just for gate pick. I mean, top 6, you're pretty much going to get right where you need to be, unless you really, really want that inside. But like I've been saying, I don't think that's the best one on the racetrack. Cade's not struggling through the whoops. Dallaire was going Mach 10 right there and just starts to get a kick and goes down. So that gives a lot of breathing room to Cade. Cade down and off the bike now, just casing that step on. I was going to say, Kellen, this triple out that Dallaire messed up on, such a risky place to pass, as Dallaire's going to make the pass now down the inside. No, he doesn't. He lands on him. Oh, that's Dominic Paolini.
Yeah.
Looks just like Dallaire with that orange gear, but you got to nail this triple. So if you're going to make a pass, you need to make sure you make it, or else you're going to lose a lot of time. So things back, kind of just push back a little bit further, running in the same order, but back up to Hollenbeck chasing up front.
Yeah, so this is Hollenbeck still P2. Gummison's got the race lead as of right now. We're about 5.5 minutes in, so coming down to the nitty-gritty of this one. And while this battle starts to get going here in just a minute, let's go back a little bit and find our transfer spot battle. Bodie Parker 7th, Cepeda 8th, Brandon Nygren in 9th, Joe Arico, the Moonline program, right behind him in 10th, trying to close that gap down and see if he can get up there and make a late pass to get into the transfer spot. So those of you guys at home watching and looking for your favorite rider, that is the transfer spot battle for now. We'll get back to it in just a minute because the action out front is or was about to heat up. Looks like Hollenbeck just made a mistake. Jeff Cooper also just went down. And then Matherly, Paolini, Dallaire also just had huge problems in this corner as well. So forget about it. These guys have all made enough mistakes. Gummison's about to take the white flag. Let's go back to our transfer spot and see what is happening. And I already went by it. There we go. Ooh. Nygren and Arico. Arico just, had a huge case right there. Now, lap and a half to go. If you're Joe Arico, do you wait for another mistake out of Nygren, or you got to start sending?
Yeah, I mean, he saw it right there. It's clean triple, and then double into this corner. So mistake by Nygren through the rhythm section, going to give him a little bit closer, a little bit more kind of getting excited about getting that position. God, what a Ricky freaking sentence that was.
Getting excited.
But I'm cheering on for Joey Arico to at least get close. Nygren keeps making mistakes. Arico on that Pro line designs the Moo line, the cow machine back there. Shout out to them for that. But Nygren's still holding on. He's got a pretty good gap. I think they're both making mistakes. Going to come down to the whoops for both of these two.
Absolutely will be about the whoops, and Nygren's hopping through them a little bit awkwardly, but he gets through the first set. I think another rider's down on the backside here. That's Bodie Parker that just went down. Emmanuel Cepeda, I should say, that just went down. So Nygren's going to be right on his hip. And then you got Arico and Spicer a little ways back. So we'll come back to it in just a second. Up front, Jared Gummison trying to hold off Garrett Hollenbeck with one turn to go. He almost hits the pixie stick, but it's Gummison who wins the heat race. Hollenbeck second. Dallaire got all the way to third, and Matherly goes through in fourth. Paolini fifth, Jeff Cooper sixth, Parker seventh, Cepeda eighth, Nygren ninth. Let's see if it stays this way. Should do. It looks like Arico went down in the background, so a couple more clean corners for these guys, and they are good to go. Nygren goes to the main event in P9, Cepeda eighth, Parker seventh, Cooper sixth, Paolini fifth, Matherly, Dallaire, Hollenbeck, and your winner, at least for now, before cuts, Jared Gummison.
Yeah, great race by him. I mean, he had so much pressure behind that race up front. Was a lot closer than for sure the first 250 heat race that we saw here tonight. Jared Gummison able to kind of hold on to it, withstand all that pressure from behind, and just take home that W. So really cool for him. Hollenbeck, I'm surprised that he was able to stay up there. I mean, not surprised, but that was a great race by him as well. Just limiting the mistakes up front, and they definitely had the pace too, because Cade and Dallaire weren't able to kind of pull up and make anything happen. I don't think cuts changed anything. No. Only 4 people out of 21 got cuts in this race.
Yeah, and Gummison actually didn't even have any cuts, so he was clean up front. 4/10 of a second victory there over the number 40 machine of Garrett Hollenbeck. Jared Gummison, your 250 heat number 2 winner, I should say, here in East Rutherford. So he's dialed in. He's ready to head to the main event, and we'll be right back on the other side of this quick commercial break and chat to you guys about the 450 heat number 1 coming up. So sit tight. Is coming this fall, and if you haven't been paying attention, you're missing out. A whole new game designed from the ground up by a super team of MX Bikes modders. Motocross the game will feature realistic physics, and it will be available on consoles as well as PC. What you're watching here is some alpha gameplay from the team as they continue to make steps towards a complete game at launch. Don't wait any longer and be the first in line by pre-ordering the game now through the link in the description below, and be sure to use the code SYSMTG, that's SYSMTG, all one word, when you check out to get 2% off your pre-order. We can't wait to shred this exciting new game with you all very soon. Welcome back here, folks, to round number 14 of MotoOption Supercross, live here on Start Your Systems TV. We have got our 450 heat races coming up next. Looks like Braden Carter is in Heat 1, Luke Sullivan, Seth Carr, Jeremy Siebold, to name a few names in there. But for Braden Carter, as we mentioned already, championship 22 points up. Similar story to Cade Matherly, just got to make it out of the heat race, because we saw last week LCQs ended up a little bit too nip and tuck for Braden Carter, I think.
I mean, Braden Carter literally came down to a last lap takeout pass to get the final transfer spot. You don't want to do that today. Go out there, and honestly, gate 1 for him might be decent, because I don't think it's going to be the whole shot gate, but I do think it's the safe. You can get pinched off like Kay did and get a 5th place start very easily just by hugging the inside. So I think that's really all he needs to focus on, is get in the main event. You're good. His position really doesn't matter. He's probably going to start 20th and get up to 3rd no matter what anyway, so just figure it out in the short heat race and make it happen, as we saw Ethan Parks.
Yes.
Absolutely case that finish.
And to those of you in chat complaining about running commercials, I don't make enough money to keep doing this, to be honest with you folks. So yes, we are going to run a little bit of commercials here tonight. And also on top of that, if you pre-order MTG with that code, I get a little bit of a kickback as well. So I would appreciate if you guys, if you're going to buy the game anyway, maybe get a 2% discount and I get a little kickback. Shall ya? All right, thanks everybody here for tuning in to round number 14 of MotoOption Supercross. 450 Heat 1 is on the gate. Let's see how it goes. Gate is down. 9 go through, and who is it going to be? We got Hubbard trying to get a nose up there on the inside on the 78. He will get to the corner first and just control it over the 54 of Jake Spieth. Everyone casing out of that corner. So it's Hubbard, Jeremy Schiabro, who was in second, but a lot of guys were able to move by him. Schiabro's going to jump right back by, though, at least try to move back into second place. And Hubbard's got himself a nice, healthy lead here on lap number 1.
Yeah, the whole shot king does it again and gets a great start there. I don't know who tried to quad out of the first corner. I don't think he's on the Yamaha, but I would assume that was Wyatt Grant. It's not him. He's on the KTM. But that was a ballsy line to try to go quad up there. Could be White Drizzle, Holyhead, who knows. But Jacob Hubbard leading us around with a huge gap right here and not too much pressure right behind him, especially with kind of the riders that are right there. Schiavro, Grant, Spieth, Blakely, and Holyhead. So nothing where it's like, oh, you got, championship contender right on your ass. So I think Jacob Hubbard's going to try to put together 1 or 2 good laps. And Braden Carter way back in 18th, Kellen.
All right, so here we go back into 18th place because I want to see what is about to happen with the champ. Braden Carter, another bad start here tonight. We'll go on board them here for just a little bit and see what 18th place looks like as he's hopping through the whoops. What is it about Braden's starts of late, too? Because even in the main events, they've been a little rough around the edges, but then in the heat races, they've just been horrible. He's getting bad starts, having to charge his way forward, and it almost cost him big time last week in Philadelphia. Now he's got to try to make some passes again. So we got dualies right in front of him, right in front of our face right there. But yeah, start's really not there for the champ.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, he's definitely going for 5 in a row. You definitely have some pressure, some people that don't really want you to get it, but I don't think you're starting next people consistently, or there's enough to kind of control on the start for people to like maybe move over on him or do all that stuff. I think maybe it's just him being a little bit passive, or maybe the other way, maybe setting it a little bit too hard. Is wow, he gets sketchy going into the whoops, but is able to corral it very quickly. Gets around 2 riders who were down right along the bales. Oh my God, that looks like how you see Roxon hit the whoops there, just riding that very fine line there to get the clean line. Casing right here, able to bring it back under him. He has so much bike control. You guys are seeing that on board right now, but just getting so close, casing a couple jumps. Man, he has so much skill, Kellen. It's actually insane.
That run through the whoops, I mean, I think just from the simple fact that I would be freaking out being that close to the top blocks, I would have just exploded. Like the front tire would have missed a whoop, and I'm just going over the bars. But his name is Braden Carter, and he's a 4-time champion for a reason. 11th place now, 53.6. That's what it looked like to be on board with him here as he made his way through the field. Nice moves as well to get up into a better position, but he's got to get a few more positions. Looks like Ethan Parks is the man holding down that transfer spot just ahead of him. He's got to go run him down, and he's got Ash Deering right in front of him. Another guy bouncing through the whoops, and Carter almost gets into him. I think that was D. Davis on the 43 going down, and Carter just able to skirt by. He's going to get down the inside of Ash Deering. He jumps pretty far into the corner, has to give a little brake tap flick into the corner. Not going to get the rhythm section. Oh, and very lucky not to have a legs off right there, landing short on that triple. Yeah, man, this is not good so far for Braden. Halfway through this race, still not in a transfer spot.
It's so weird. You can tell that he's really antsy because he cased that triple in very badly, and we saw him case it a little bit, but you can recover from a small case on the 450s. He missed that line so much and still goes to kind of send that next triple when you would think you would just be able to back off and kind of realize, okay, I don't have it. Let me just now go double, triple, and kind of get back into it. And I think that's what hurts him. He's so antsy to get back up there and wants to get inside the transfer and wants to do all these things so quickly. He kind of doesn't think about just saving his race and making it smoother. But he's got the Wosty right there. There's a nice easy pass, and
that's P9
he's going to
right
gain
there.
Another spot up into P9, and that's 43. That's not D. Davis, is it?
Yeah, it was D. Davis.
Oh, it was
down,
D. Davis
so
on that DX3 Cowie. Sorry about that, Devin.
Yep, Devin hitting the deck. Unfortunate for him. Deering, Parks still up here in good positions. Jax Lindsay 6th. Siebold inside the top 5 behind his teammate Seth Carr. Hubbard has lost the lead. He is back into 3rd. Wyatt Grant 2nd with Schiavro out front. A couple of fresh faces in the 450 class. We're seeing jumping back and forth between 250s, and it's Schiavro versus Wyatt Grant out front. This is going to be a good battle, especially knowing the raw speed that Wyatt Grant possesses. But Jeremy Schiavro, veteran of this game, he knows how to get it done as well.
Yeah, Schiavro been around for so long, and I mean he's kind of immune to the pressure, it should seem, after so long of racing. But I mean, you look at Braden Carter, he's won so many titles and been around for a while too, and the pressure can still get to him. But Squidbro looking pretty good there. Goes mistimes his seat bounce there, almost goes over the bars right as I say that. Now he's off into the bales, going to lose a spot here, but he's going to kind of try to corral it. Wyatt Grant, not his 450 debut, I'm sure, but looking really good here in the 450 class tonight as he's in 5th place position now and trying to work his way forward. Huge gap though. He's just going to try to. Oh no, he's in the lead. Yeah. I'm so sorry, Kellen.
We went all the way to the lead. I thought you knew that.
I was looking
at
the
buddy.
wrong name. I'm so sorry. Wyatt Grant leading a 450 heat race here. Absolutely unreal. We haven't really seen him perform in this class, and he looks really good. I think he's so sendy on that 250 that the 450 just has enough power where he can kind of ride out of his, comfort zone, but it's just the bike allows him to do it. Look at him hitting quad singles right there just for fun.
Yeah, and getting a little bit of a rear end twitch coming out of that corner into the Supercross triple, but Wyatt Grant leading this thing and pulling away in the heat race. Good on him. Schiavro settles back in a second. It's still Hubbard third. Seabolt off the track is now fourth, and Seth Carr now rounds out our top five. Carter has climbed all the way back to sixth place, so from maybe not even making it a couple minutes ago to now easily in a transfer spot. He's going to feel a lot better about that, and it looks like these guys just got back to the flag before time expired, so we are at 2 laps to go this time by for everyone you're watching on the screen. Here, Jake Spieth 7th, Jax Lindsay 8th, and Jacob Arnbrister is in the final transfer spot. This is Jay-Z, I believe, that he normally goes by, holding down P9 just ahead of Jet Holyhead. White Drizzle back here as well, so a couple of Phil's Yamahas ready to do battle for a transfer spot if it comes to it. And I wonder if they're in the same chat together right now discussing this potential battle we might have.
Yeah, I always liked kind of battling for a transfer spot with, one of my friends or something. Phil's Yamaha down behind him, and the rider in 11th down as well. So Armbrister is going to have a lot of room here. Just needs to kind of keep hitting the rhythm sections, a couple small cases, but able to get that triple, double nice and clean there. So Armbrister probably with 1 lap to go almost, it should be able to hold on to this thing. He's got so much room behind him, but he's actually making some moves up. So maybe he can even improve his gate pick for the main event here as he just kind of tries to keep it on 2 wheels and work his way up towards Jax Lindsay, Jake Spieth. These guys are battling right in front of him.
Yeah, a good little battle there. Jax Lindsay just got by Jake Spieth actually into 7th. Still Carter in 6th, and Schiavro back into the race lead. So something happened to Wyatt Grant. He's all the way back to 5th place here on this final lap, and that's a shame because he had a pretty comfortable gap. Looks like he may have warmed his arm up and thrown this one away. But Jeremy Schiavro is on his way to the victory here. 2 corners to go. He's got to get these on-offs clean, and he is taking this one home. On, off. Jeremy Schiavro is your 450 heat number 1 winner here in East Rutherford. It's Hubbard 2nd, Seth Carr 3rd, Wyatt Grant actually 4th now, just ahead of Braden Carter coming into the final corner. Carter tries to get to the inside to make the pass. Oh, they come together, but it is Grant who holds on by 1600ths of a second. Jeremy Seabolt 6th, 7th for Jake Spieth, Arnbrister 8th, Jax Lindsay's 9th. Here's Jet Holyhead right behind him. Does Holyhead go inside? No, he just sneaks into the berm in the background. I thought he was going to go for it, but he does not. Maybe he knows that up ahead of him, Jax Lindsay had some penalties, because I would have thought that would be the ideal time right there to just go for it down the inside, but he backed out of the challenge and let Jax Lindsay have the spot.
Yeah, I feel like in the 450 class, they have the power to skim across those step-ons so fast that you just know you can pretty much, unless someone's going wide open to the inside and going to absolutely tee you up, I think you can get into that outside, rail that berm, and hit the finish line before anyone can kind of get in there to do anything if you have the lead. So it might even be slower to maybe protect the inside, risk sliding out or anything like that. So very good by Jax Lindsay there, and Holyhead, White Drizzle just coming up a little bit short there.
Yeah, Jax Lindsay does hold on, so Arnbrister goes through, Jake Spieth, Seabolt, Carter, Grant, Carr, Hubbard, Schiavro, your running order up to the front of this one, and a nice win for the veteran Jeremy Schiavro. District Designs puts it P1 here in 450 heat number 1. We're going to roll straight in commercial free to 450 heat number 2 because people were complaining about it. 450 heat 2 coming up next, and we will see, of course, the other side of this championship story. Colby Eaglin going to the line in this one, and last week's winner, Alexis Leclerc, on the number 7. Let's go back to last week for just a minute, talk about Leclerc's win at Philadelphia. What is it that you've seen out of Leclerc over the last couple of weeks that has really kind of like stood out to you to get back into his groove? Because he really wasn't doing too well in the first half of Supercross. He's hung fairly close in the points, all things considered. But yeah, definitely been a different guy.
Yeah, it's weird. When he has his bad series, it's like he's 3rd to 5th in the championship. He's just not up there consistently. I think what we've seen the last couple of weeks is he's getting better starts consistently, which for all of his titles and stuff is normally his strong point. But I think it's just his early laps and being able to hang in there. I think we would see him start up front. We go, is this the night that he's going to do it? And then a couple crashes later, he gets kind of flustered while the track breaks down and is unable to adapt and just kind of drops back to 10th, and you don't really see him or talk about him. So I think it's just kind of the whole package. He's had the starts, but able to do those early laps and just keep it on two wheels. I mean, this 450 class is so much about not crashing, riding consistently. You could be, it would be interesting to see if you were 3 seconds off the pace per lap time, but you never fell. I would be interested to see kind of what position that gets you in an average main event, because I think that's what some of these best guys do. Shirley, Eaglin, Sullivan, you know, when they are up there week in and week out. Eaglin probably number one at that. Leclerc just has been too much on or off, and we're seeing him on these last couple weeks, and I hope he continues to do it, and he's feeling spicy here in the warm-up lap.
Hey, quick shout out to our YouTube chat. Whisker Biscuit dropping a $5 donation. He says if you guys call the winner of either main, he'll drop a 50 dono. So get that brain ready over there, Mr. A. Wood, because we got to win this thing. We'll each pick a separate guy, so we have our improved chances. But we'll get that call going after, really before we roll into the main events, we'll do that. But here we go, 450 heat number 2, final heat race of the night here in East Rutherford. Again, same story, 6 minutes in a lap. 9 riders go through to the main event. Let's find out who they are. We're off and running here in New Jersey. And it looks like Leclerc's got a good run on the 7. He's going to push a little bit to the middle of the corner, but still come out with the whole shot, picking up right where he left off last week with his win in Philadelphia. Alexis Leclerc, the fast Frenchman, on the number 7 Phil Ski and Snowboard Gas gets out to the early race lead. Little case of the triple, but still solid out front. And he's bringing his countryman, Pablo Vial, the impact number 20, in second. Cash Wood, Seth Shirley, and John Heilman inside of the top 5 as everyone kind of funnels in. And Leclerc feeling the heat from Pablo Vial.
Yeah, this battle got a lot closer. I thought Leclerc was just going to be able to kind of check out and move away. These two having some really good first rhythm sections there that separate themselves from the rest of the pack. Someone in third had to roll the finish line right there. That was Seth Shirley, I think, as Cash Woods and John Howman go by him. But Leclerc with an amazing start. And I'm looking at a name, Colby Eaglin. He was 9th. He moved up to 7th, Kellen. I think he's the guy who needs to try to get up there and battle with Leclerc here, because he needs to be the spoiler between him and Braden Carter over these next couple rounds. If Leclerc's going to crush it, Colby Eaglin needs to be beating Leclerc. Yeah, well, I mean, Eaglin's best friend still could be Alexis Leclerc in this championship, because if Eaglin were to win out from here, he needs some friends. He needs Leclerc. He needs guys like Seth Shirley to beat Braden Carter in the main events. But obviously, it's a tough task to win out from here, 22 points down. Either way, needs these guys to keep getting good starts, and Leclerc has certainly found his flow. How about Pablo Vial, though? Second place right now for the impact number 20 rider. 1 MotoOption Supercross win to his name. That was San Francisco last year. But, just hanging tough right now, right behind Leclerc. And this is the Pablo Vial we every once in a while see. He got second place overall at Hangtown last year, too. Like we said, he won San Francisco. But otherwise, it's like, where's he been? Not really anywhere else, but right now doing a good job in this heat race. Yeah, he's one of those guys that it's weird when he's on, he's just really on, and it's just, he has so much speed. I mean, look at the pace. He's matching Leclerc, if not pulling and gaining on him in a couple sections. Just hitting these rhythms so smoothly up until I start to say that. Commentator's curse is absolutely insane tonight. But it's weird that they can't do this more consistent. Like, you have such a peak, right? We're watching it right here. You can go up and battle with the best of the best in the game, the guy who literally just won the race last week. And then where does it go for 7, 8, 9 rounds? You know, we see it maybe once or twice a year. It's just crazy to me that that's like a possibility. And I don't know if it's start dependent, because I feel like we see him up on starts, but then he kind of falls apart. So really crazy. And Pablo Vial, up into those Davalos bales, just pushes his front end a little bit. But still, look at how much of a lead those two have had. They put so much speed, and Alec Horn coming up behind them. Yeah, so Horn now moves right in behind there in P3. There is Eaglin, who you mentioned, now running in 4th place. And I think he maybe heard you, because he's definitely started to wind it up a little bit now. 54.2 last time by. A little bit slower than his 54.1 that he ran the lap before that, but just consistent lap times, always the mantra of Colby Eaglin. Just consistency is key, and he's tried to consistency his way to this title this year. Hasn't been able to get there just yet, obviously, but 4 rounds to go, trying to chip away potentially at Braden Carter from keeping him winning this 5th title in a row. Right now behind Alec Horn, trying to make a quick pass. And like you said, wants to get up there and try to do some damage in this heat race. He's got to try to go snipe Alec Horn for this position very quickly. Yeah, I mean, he still is so consistent, right? It's crazy to me that he hasn't just been up there winning a bunch of races and dominating, but he is the closest one in the championship. I just, with the 9th place start that I saw him early on in the heat, he kind of gets stuck back here. He's up in the 4th, but he's 9 seconds back off the leaders. You just start battling early on and lose that early time. So if he gets a 10th place start in the main event, that's not going to be good enough to go out there and beat Alexis Leclerc and Vial and all these other guys, Hubbard, and Carter. So he needs to really kind of dial in the starts and make sure he's up there top 3, at least top 5, so that you're not losing so much time just in the early stages. But he's smooth and consistent as always, and definitely fast. Just you can lose too much time in the first lap that you really can't regain if everyone's very close.
Yeah, well, I mean, this track doesn't seem to really give much separation other than just hitting the whoops clean either, which is also part of the problem. John Heilman 5th, Braden Castellaneta 6th ahead of Seth Shirley 7th, Austin Schaefer 8th, and Joey Carter rounds out our transfer positions right now. Tanner Rogers is about 4 seconds off of Joey Carter, and as we just mentioned, not a lot of time to be gained throughout this racetrack, so if Carter can just keep it pretty solid on 2 wheels here for the next 3 or so laps, he should be in no problem. Obviously, a bit of a tougher task said than done, but getting a little wayward there on the exit of the whoops is the Dr. Do Racing number 83 machine. Oh, looks like Alec Horn was just down, and that is Braden Castellaneta hitting the deck. He's going to lose a transfer spot as Tanner Rogers goes by. So there you go. One quick move, and Tanner Rogers is into a transfer spot.
Yeah, from so far back to be able to get gifted that and then be right there in 9th is very lucky for him. It's always a good feeling when you're just kind of cruising around. You're like, dude, I got to push. I got to make up some time. You see some riders down. Was that 2 riders down in front of him? I don't think those were lappers. Purple and the yellow guy.
Joey Carter was one of them. I don't see another person getting up.
What the hell? Okay, maybe there were 2 lappers.
Okay.
So,
well, I mean, one of them was Joey Carter. Carter was up there, and he is now not.
Yeah, maybe it was a 3-rider pile-up. They were all just inside of each other in that corner and unable to get back up cleanly. Tanner Rogers, though, trying to hold on to her. Whoa. Front end lock all throughout the corner. Braden Castellaneta able to get by, but Tanner Rogers still in that 9th spot. But Caden Speck trying to make a run through the whoops, and he is. Mach 10 is Tanner Rogers just trying to hold on to that 450, that RPF Famine X machine. Too much power there. Getting back going in the whoops, so now he is back chasing, but a lot closer than where he was before.
Boy, if these are the whoops they built in real life, poor Justin Cooper would not have a shot in hell, because they are burly, they are tall, and they are tough to get up on top of. But Tanner Rogers bouncing through him allows Caden Speck into the final transfer spot. And for those of you asking over on TikTok, these are real people playing all over the world right now. We've got riders from Canada, Australia, France, the UK, obviously the USA, but trying to think of some other countries we got in there.
Brazil.
Brazil. Tanner Rogers, who is in 10th place right here, is from Canada. And, oh, man, getting sideways right in front of him. Caden Speck is going for a ride into the whoops, but a nice job to pull it back together. Who you got in this transfer spot battle? This one could get good.
I don't know. I love Caden Speck's whoop speed, but at the same time, I think I don't like him for his whoop speed. I feel like he can just explode at any moment. We saw Tanner Rogers not make a mistake in the whoops, just the corner kind of between them. So Caden Speck looking good, but Tanner Rogers I feel like does have that 1 lap speed. Caden Speck, though, definitely has the whoop speed down. I think it's 50-50, though, toss up between these guys as we have just over 1 lap to go for these guys as the leader has crossed the line. The white flag is out for that, and Leclerc is just kind of storming away from the rest of the field. I think this is going to be a great battle down to the line, though, Kellen.
All right, quick answer for you here going into the final lap. Do they both stay up?
No.
All right, here we go. 1 lap to go here in East Rutherford for the 9th and final transfer spot to the main event out of 450 heat number 2. They're running down the 34 of Austin Schaefer a little bit. Caden Speck clean through the whoops. Who's that? Who is that stuck on top of the berm?
Lapper? Bendis?
No, it was
Lapper.
not Noah Bendis. It was
Purple
a lapper, and Caden Speck did get through the whoops clean, but he's a little bit short right there, getting a little bit wild as Alexis Leclerc takes the win. Here comes Tanner Rogers, triple in for Caden Speck, triple again. Tanner Rogers is going to be right there. He's going to go 3-2 into the corner. Caden Speck getting a little sideways. Doesn't get a clean run into the triple, but he's got just enough of a gap, I think, to hold this thing off. Triple in here, single into the corner. Oh, and who's that down?
Or Shirley?
That is Seth Shirley down. Seth Shirley down, and it hands Tanner Rogers the final transfer spot to the main event. Seth Shirley's headed to the last chance qualifier.
I wanted to make a call, but you had such a good call going. I saw some Yamahas going through that other section towards that corner. There was like 3 of them, Phil's Riders, JIB Arco, and all this stuff going into one corner, and I was thinking, there's so many people there, not all of them can stay up, and it happened to be Seth Shirley on the short end of the stick, going to an LCQ, could potential to not make a main 2 weeks in a row, Kellen.
Oh my goodness, Seth Shirley again. I can't believe it. It is Rogers, and let's see. Yeah, nothing changes. Rogers holds on to 9th. Speck, Schaefer, Castellaneta, Vial, Horn, Eagland, Heilman, and Leclerc does pick up a 12-second win, 51-7. Last lap of the race for Alexis Leclerc, absolutely cooking right now on the number 7 machine. So there you have it, folks. A LCQ bound for the second week in a row. Seth Shirley, man, could it have happened any other way? I mean, that's just absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Chat is going off right now, but just what a bummer. I mean, 2 turns to go, no matter who it is. Anytime you're in a transfer position, it is it sucks going down. I mean, the last lap in general, I've done it a lot in heat races, multiple LCQs, winning LCQs, going down with a lap to go and losing it. It's just heartbreaking. So, man, Shirley's season just seems like it's kind of derailing here. I mean, I have so much faith that he's going to be able to make it in cleanly. That last week's LCQ was so stacked too. So much kind of craziness in the heat races, put a lot more pressure on those guys. So, yeah, he's going there. We got 250 LCQ coming up. We got another donation in chat from Mark. If we call either winner of the winner of either main, he'll drop a $20 dono. So 70 potential in chat, even more than that. We got some subs earlier. We got so much going on. Appreciate all you guys out here. And for some reason, are we printing money out here?
I don't know, man. Suddenly you guys are donating. It's almost like you guys are begging me to keep doing this. But
yeah, they heard you threatening to quit, and they said,
"Yeah, man,
here's take my money."
But thank you, Mark. I appreciate the donation, and yeah, we'll give you guys some call-outs going into the main events here in just a little bit. But before we do that, we have got potentially the best 2 races of the night coming up. The last chance qualifiers here in East Rutherford. And if you're new to MotoOption Supercross, this works just the same way as real life Monster Energy Supercross. 4 riders go through, everybody else heads home. And that is the final answer this week. Everybody else heads home that is not inside of the top 4. Let's see who it is going to be. 5 minutes plus a lap, and they will be going for it in this one. So let's get that 30 card turn sideways and drop the gate, trying to pick someone more on the inside here. How about Joe Orico down the inside alongside Emmett Sun? Let's go LCQ racing in East Rutherford.
That Moulin machine off to a good start, but look at they're going to get pinched here.
Oh, and look at Orico goes through the tough blocks there to avoid the chaos. It's Carter Cochran. The MW Blood Lung machine gets out front. It's Maverick Snyder second, Langstrup third, putting a couple people up high in the corner, and Steven Short moves into fourth. We got a bit of a gap behind that from all the chaos in turn 2, but you just never know, man. You got to settle in early in these races.
Yeah, first time seeing Steven Short tonight. Shout out to him for a great start. Already inside the top 4. Just hold on to her, bud. And I said, hold on to her, bud. Don't let me keep commentators cursing everyone. He gets passed by Tyler Moore. Really spelled weird more right there. Wasn't expecting that one. Maybe one more O. He's casing the jump right here. Still barely holding on, though, right in front of Steven Short. And a little Kawasaki battle here. Yeah,
this is a good one here between Timor and Steven Short. Also, shout out to Nasty SDS on our Twitch side over there, subbing up for his 10th month in a row. Appreciate the support over there. He's got Cade Matherly and Colby Eaglin for the wins tonight. Not bad shouts whatsoever. Langstrup down at the end of the whoops, and Snyder's down. Oh, we got 4 riders down at the end of the whoops, and someone just went from 9th to 4th, I think. That's Sonny Spicer up there. He actually moves into 2nd place. So Carter Cochran almost goes into the pixie stick. He's got a big lead. Spicer 2nd, Steven Short 3rd. Caden now 4th as Steven Short goes for a ride. He's almost jumping off the track, and Caden jumps up into the 3 spot right behind Spicer. Look at this freight train, though. Oh, my gosh, if you're Steven Short, you're sweating this thing right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a gift right there. Sonny Spicer, Caden, and Short getting up into that spot, but Langstrup on your heels. Maverick Snyder right there. All these guys that were up there trying to get back in. It always
and then we got a stack up. A big stack up. That was Spicer down with Caden and Nicholas Langstrup, and Carter Cochran just went down with the lead. So Langstrup, he's got the front end lock all the way onto the start straight. J.R. Reyes goes through into 2nd place. Langstrup 3rd and Steven Short in 4th. We got block passes galore going on in the background.
Oh, my God.
2 more riders Langstrup going down. Langstrup down. Short down. Devers is going to go into the final transfer spot. It's Cochran, Reyes, Snyder, and Devers now. But now Devers is hopping through the whoops. He's got no drive as Christopher McPherson comes. Oh, my goodness, this is going to be insane.
Oh my God, that's like watching the Angels baseball season, sick ass start, and then you just collapse and fall apart and just get beat down and beat down and beat down. All these guys, Langstrup, I was gonna say he gets a good start, but he fell so many times early, and we've seen him just have a shit show of a race so far. McPherson though, all the way up into 5th place, chasing Seth Devers right here. This is the battle for the final transfer spot. Everyone else not even getting away, and you just saw about 8 guys fly through your camera over the triple. So if any one of these guys makes a mistake, look at all that. 2 riders down behind them. So McPherson chasing, trying not to make any mistake, or else you're going to get swallowed up. And not in a good way. So McPherson just trying to keep working his way forward. Battle for the lead. J.R. Reyes.
4 riders together.
Cochran.
Snyder and J.R. Reyes are all over Cochran, who's going for a ride, and he goes down, and Snyder just misses him. J.R. Reyes into second. Carter Cochran is going from the lead, and he's going to fall back into this transfer spot battle. Might even lose a transfer spot. He's going to get up still in 4th. It's McPherson now 3rd, Cochran 4th, Timor 5th, Devers, he's sliding out after the whoops in 6th. He's going to get passed up right there. My goodness gracious, this is insane right now as Cochran's making mistakes up here in 4th, just trying to gather it back together. Shout out to Reaper Doc, by the way, as well. 499 Dono in the chat right now. He's getting pumped on the races as well. Always good to see some celebrities stop by and hang out with us peasants. But good to see Cochran getting back in the flow of things as well, because I don't know what just happened. He had a huge lead. I can't believe he's in 4th 2 laps later.
Yeah, I mean, just going down big mistakes. I feel like everyone has been so close, but yeah, maybe 1 or 2 falls to get back this far. It's crazy. But man, this top 4, look at how close they are, though. A little bit of gap right there to Tyler Moore, and then you see down the start straight. So much time, Cochran down again, so he's going to lose 4th. So he's back into 5th, and I think he's going to get passed again. There's like 3 guys coming through the whoops behind him, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get up in front of those and keep the chase going on, but Cochran going to be way out. Tyler Moore has a gift. He just needs to focus on forward, keep it on 2 wheels. This has been a roller coaster of an LCQ for him. So J.R. Reyes, followed by Snyder, followed by McPherson, and then Moore 10 seconds back of the lead, but with only a 2.9 second gap.
Yeah, and that was McPherson that just went down, and here comes Carter Cochran back into a transfer spot with McPherson going backwards, and time has still not expired as the leader checks in out front. It's J.R. Reyes ahead of Maverick Snyder, but this is your transfer spot battle. The 231 right there is Tyler Moore on the Nexus Kawasaki. Then you got Carter Cochran right here on the 276 KTM, jumping off the track a little bit right there, and the 317 is Christopher McPherson. There are 3 riders on your screen. 2 of them are in transfer spots. 1 is outside looking in. Who's going to get in? Joshua Crummett in his pro debut is also back there in 6th, trying to get up there and hope some chaos commences with all of these guys. We got guys bouncing through the whoops, and Cochran's down again. Carter Cochran is down again, and going through this time, it's going to be Sonny Spicer back into a transfer spot. No, actually, Crummett. Crummett goes through. Excuse me. Spicer is actually in 5th, so Joshua Crummett is in the final transfer spot with a lap and a half to go. Can he hold on?
Yeah, I mean, your pro debut to be in the final transfer spot with someone like Sonny Spicer right behind you, putting that pressure on is intense. But, man, 1 lap to go. His leader's across the line. He's got some breathing room. Sonny Spicer making some big mistakes behind him. He's got to keep pushing forward. Hopefully he has a spotter that shows him that Tyler Moore has kind of been making a couple mistakes, or maybe you know that just from how close you've been able to kind of bring this thing in. So 4 seconds ahead of him, only 2 seconds back. He needs to look forward. Sonny Spicer is going to send it. I think it's going to come down to the whoops for both these riders. We'll have a nice shot of that and see if any of them make any mistakes.
Bouncing through Joshua Crummett, that was insane, and he just holds on. He's sideways. He's front flipping. He lands it and he goes down. He gets into someone else in the other lane as Sonny Spicer goes through into the final transfer spot. He cuts underneath. He is just not going to take the risk to do the jump over the start straight. Then he cases that triple. Here comes Christopher McPherson. He's casing. Spicer's just doubling through the rhythm section, just begging to make this main event here tonight. Triples comes up a little bit short. He's got 2 turns to go. Here comes McPherson. This is the battle for 4th. Who's going to get it? Spicer has got to get through 2 more turns clean. Reyes takes the win. Timor is trying to go through with Snyder. Spicer cuts the corner off. He goes over table. No, he bounces off, and going through is McPherson, but he goes off the track. He goes off the track, and Spicer makes the main event in 4th. What the heck?
All you had to do was ride straight. What are you doing, McPherson? Just hang a Larry on the last step off. Misses it. Sonny Spicer gave him a gift and ends up making it by not only doesn't lose the spot, which I think he was going to, 1.7 seconds, so it doesn't even look like cuts are going to come into it.
Oh my gosh, Sonny Spicer makes it through. At least for now, it is Maverick Snyder third, Tyler Moore second, and J.R. Reyes does win the last chance qualifier. He's going through. Let's see if penalties affect fourth place. Like you said, it's a bigger gap, 1.7. Is it going to change? We're waiting for a couple more guys to cross the finish line before we get those penalties in, but as of now, Spicer is looking good as we have those guys crossing. Two more guys still to finish up. One going down the other straightaway is Awood's going to go ahead and head on out for just a quick second. Let's see if this position changes. It does not. Spicer does make it through. Snyder actually gets second in this race. Tyler Moore gets third, and J.R. Reyes takes the win. What a last chance qualifier. And we got another one coming up. 450 LCQ coming up here in just a moment, and we'll be back on the other side of this break. Is coming this fall, and if you haven't been paying attention, you're missing out. A whole new game designed from the ground up by a super team of MX Bikes modders. Motocross the game will feature realistic physics, and it will be available on consoles as well as PC. What you're watching here is some alpha gameplay from the team as they continue to make steps towards a complete game at launch. Don't wait any longer and be the first in line by pre-ordering the game now through the link in the description below, and be sure to use the code SYSMTG, that's SYSMTG, all one word, when you check out to get 2% off your pre-order. We can't wait to shred this exciting new game with you all very soon. All right, everyone, welcome back in studio here. Of course, Andrew Wood taking a quick break. He'll be back in just a second, but thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Round 14 of MotoOption Supercross has delivered so far from East Rutherford, and we have our second of two last chance qualifiers coming up here in just a minute. 450 LCQ coming at you, and big time as well, because Seth Shirley, who has been the storyline of the week, if you were not with us here last week in MotoOption Supercross, 8th in the LCQ, but then asked other riders to not race the main event. They let him in. He finished third. Turns out that was not good. A disqualification for him. A new rule made by Race Factory Gaming this week. So the four people you see that are about to make it are the four people that qualify to the main event, and everybody else does indeed go home early. But somehow, some way, the racing gods are just playing with us a little bit, because even though Seth Shirley qualified fastest tonight, he is back in the last chance qualifier this week. Crashed on the last lap of the heat race and found his way here into this one. So, does Seth Shirley make it this week, Mr. Andrew Wood?
I think he's got the speed. I think this 450 LCQ is a little bit less stacked than it was last week, so I think maybe less pressure. I don't know. Maybe he's putting more pressure on himself. Looks like he's got some ops out there by the warm-up lap, but I think he'll make it through.
All right, well, we are about to find out. 450 last chance qualifier coming at you. This is going to be a 5-minute plus 1 lap showdown to make the main event here tonight in East Rutherford, and everybody else heads home early. Who's going to get the whole shot? That is going to be critical, and who gets through the first turn clean will be a big deal as well. 30 Carter sideways, revs are up. Let's go 450 last chance qualifier racing here in East Rutherford. Pretty good start for the 18 of Stevenson. He's going to get pushed wide by, I think that was Holyhead on the 87. And it's close. Joey Carter gets the whole shot and triples out of the corner. He gets into the race lead. It's Carter, Braden Tharp, T-Lang, and Luke Sullivan is in this as well. I didn't even notice some of the other heavy hitters that were here. But look at Luke Sully's in this one. As jumping by him for a moment is Noah Bindis. He's going to get the position. And Sully tries to cross back up underneath of him. Dooley's over the triple. And a good fight being had in the mid-pack. But I cannot believe some of the names in this one as Joey Carter leads the field around.
Okay, maybe this one is just as stacked as last week, Kellen, and maybe Shirley's not a shoe-in for this. I see Cash Woods in there. He's been really fast, but, man, Joey Carter off to a flyer start right there. Gets that little table, and then that triple after is huge. I think that's so big for these guys. As long as you don't get landed on, that 450 class allows you to kind of pull away if you get the whole shot. So important to nail that line. Joey Carter, some struggles through the whoops, but not as much as Tharp, who actually was gaining on him, but then went down the last few. So he's going to move back to third, still slotted in a transfer spot. But, man, this 450 class is so close.
Yes, Tharp is the one who laid it down. T-Lane goes by. Tharp has now Frank Jackson right behind him, and Seth Shirley is in 9th for those of you guys keeping tabs at home. So Frank Jackson Oh, goes a little bit long into this corner. Down the inside, Caleb Hall thought of a move, but backs out of the challenge on the 45 machine. Not able to get up the inside there to make that pass stick just yet. And let's see if he squares this corner off right here. Everyone's kind of jockeying for these positions. No real advantage being gained just yet. And Hall follows into the outside line going over the finish line jump. So 2 laps in, probably about 4 or 5 more still to go as we are almost 2 minutes into this race of a 5-minute plus 1 lap affair. But T-Lang trying to hold off Tharp just in front of us there, and then Caleb Hall dealing with Frank Jackson. Jackson goes down, and Hall gets into him, and then spinning into the corner right there was Jet Holyhead. Oh man, a bit of a stack up there as these guys try to fight through, and a big stack up after the whoops.
Oh, it's Birmingham all over again.
Oh no,
my God!
It's all disaster right there. Can't believe that one. Luke Sullivan was in there as well. But so Caleb Hall's got a bit of breathing room in 4th. It's Spencer Turley. What's up, my dudes? Holding on to P5 just in front of Cash Woods and Seth Shirley. Watch this battle for a second because it might be about to get good. Look at Cash Woods down the inside on Turley. Block pass, takes him out, and moves up into 5th place.
That was such a sick takeout right there. Shirley able to cut down and barely avoid that. These guys, Shirley's trying to make his move forward. Cash Woods, though, showing some great speed. And, yeah, these guys are now 5th and 6th on the track, 10 seconds off the lead, 4 seconds off the spot in front of them. So they really need to just kind of lock in, keep hitting the whoops cleanly, hitting their marks, and I think work their way forward slowly.
Cash
Woods down hard. Shirley able to hit the brakes. You see how much he was able to decelerate those last couple whoops and kind of stay out of that carnage. That's what we saw Holyhead try to do, but kind of sent him flying the lap before. So Seth Shirley now alone in 5th, trying to just put his times down and work his way forward into a transfer spot. Realistically, this is all on him right now. No one really around him, and he's just got to lock in. He's into the pixie stick, almost. Oh, and hits the little UFO blast circular bail right there in the corner, but able to keep it on 2 wheels. Keep trying to be mistake-free and work your way up, Shirley. I think he might be able to get in here. Chasing down Joey Carter, though, 5 seconds up to 3rd place.
Yeah, so Carter just went down through the lead away real quick as Tharp takes over the front, and you can see 4 riders on your screen. That is your transfer spots with Seth Shirley on the Yamaha right there, peeking into the background. That is how much time he has to make up to get there. Hall moves up into 3rd, is going for a bit of a ride, was T-Lang in front of these guys, just crowded together by the end of the whoop, so you can see that time came down. Caleb Hall now right there in the background, and Joey Carter going a little bit nose heavy coming into the corner right there. Got to be careful and got to hit these rhythm sections clean as well. We've seen a lot of mistakes in these as Carter quads up to the outside, trying to get that pass down on Caleb Hall, but couldn't get stopped for the corner very cleanly, so Hall actually gained a little bit of time in the process. Caleb Hall looks fired up to go after T-Lang here, actually.
Yeah, Seth Shirley's got to be foaming at his mouth right there. You're sitting in 5th, and you see 2nd, 3rd, and 4th battling this closely. Someone is going to have to go down and not on each other. Look at this. Joey Carter out to the outside, trying to sweep around. Look at the speed coming. Unable to make it work. Wow, that line looks so good if you can really get a nice cut down and get a nice sweep into that corner. Look at them. Joey Carter with some whoop speed right up on the rear wheel. See if he can carry it through the 2nd set. Trying to make a move up the inside. He's got the drive. Doesn't make the pass.
Caleb Hall. I can't believe they both kept going for it, and Carter lays it down. He does not fall off the bike, but that gives Seth Shirley the position. Shirley goes into the 4th and final transfer spot, at least for now, as T-Lang was just down, and Shirley just comes up a really short in that triple right there. But yes, it does move Carter back into a transfer spot, at least for this time being. Time has expired just in time for Braden Tharp to take the white flag out front. It's Tharp, Hall, Shirley, and Carter right now, 4 riders in, and can T-Lang get back up there and knock Joey Carter off this final transfer spot?
Yeah, Tyler Lang, such a bad time to go down right before the last lap when you're in a spot, just making a mistake on his own, and it's just not what you want to see. But Seth Shirley and Joey Carter got to be kind of licking their lips, just kind of being in there safely. Joey Carter, though, still has some pressure. Tyler Lang's right there. I think that's a lap down.
That was Caleb Hall.
No, Caleb
Hall was down, and that puts T-Lang into the final transfer spot. Caleb Hall picks it right up and gets a good run in the whoops, so it's not over yet, but that's a little bit of a gap, maybe just enough for T-Lang to hold on. It's Tharp, Shirley, Carter, and Tyler Lang, which sounds like a main event when you really think about it, as these guys go through this rhythm section. Oh, Joey Carter was down. He's picking it up, and he still goes for the triple, and he gets it as T-Lang lands on him and goes down. Carter going for the triple was the best thing he could do right there, and it's going to give him the final transfer spot. Tharp wins, Shirley 2nd. Actually, Joey Carter gets 3rd, and Hall will get 4th in the end of this thing. Turley just misses out, by a second and a half.
Tyler Lang had that. He had it right in front of him. Joey Carter going for that triple. I thought that was going to be such a huge mistake. Was able to actually clear it, land right on top. And man, Tyler Lang just jumped right into the back of him, was unable to avoid it, had too much speed, scrubbing up behind him, and unfortunately finishes 6th. Such a bummer right there. And so many heavy hitters outside of the top 4 not making it. Shout out to everyone that did. But man, Turley, Lang, Stevenson, Brandon Larson, Deering, Whelan, Blakely, Holyhead, Devin Davis, Cash Woods, Luke Sullivan, your SMX champion, not making it. Wow, what a race. These LCQs did not disappoint, and I don't think anything changed inside the top 4. So
it did not.
All these guys are going through. Tharp, Shirley, Carter, and Caleb Hall are going to the 450 main event here tonight.
Insane stuff. What a last chance qualifier. And we are set for our main events tonight here in East Rutherford. 250 main coming up in just a moment, and we'll be back to watch it on the other side of this break.
MotoOption, a family-owned and operated motorsports apparel and accessories company. We design and print all of our apparel in-house, ensuring top quality from start to finish. Created by racers, for racers. Our products are racer tested and approved by a team of motorsports enthusiasts just like you. We value our customers because they're not just buyers, they're part of the MotoOption family. Join us and ride with confidence. Visit shopmotooption.com and gear up today. In Throttle, we trust.
Welcome back in studio here with myself, Kellen Brower, and Andrew Wood, getting ready to go racing here for the 250 main event from East Rutherford. Man, what a night of racing so far. If anything, we might be even on for a better 250 main event. Johnny Padani, Cade Matherly going to the line, ready to do battle for this championship situation, but a lot of other faces have also been pretty good here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, so many people, it's hard to kind of pick those 250 heat race winners or the championship guys for maybe predicting who's going to win this thing. But I think there's so much that can happen in this 250 class. It's really hard to predict, especially with how much they've been struggling with the 2 back-to-back whoop sections that we mentioned early on, as those were going to be a factor. They have been. And that long rhythm section, those guys really struggling to get that triple, triple, triple line. So going to be interesting. And I think we got a couple of guys that aren't normally in there showing some spice and trying to get in there and get some wins here down the stretch in this championship.
Okay. As per our situation from earlier, we have to pick winners right now. What do you got for 250s?
I have my man Johnny Tsunami Padani coming through, letting that thing hang on top of the field. Dylan Delaire did look good. Cade Matherly also has been great here. I'm curious as to who you're going to pick, Colin.
I am going to go Cade Matherly. I'm going to play it safe. We're going to pick 2 guys that really could win these main events, so Padani or Matherly on our end. Quickly, let's do 450s, though. What do you got 450-wise?
I think, honestly, I think Alexis Leclerc. I think no pressure for him. And I think maybe Eaglin would have been my pick, but he didn't look as hot in the 450 Heat 1 or Heat 2.
Well, I'm going to go Eaglin just because I know that he needs to win this race here tonight, and obviously that would be huge for him to get it done. So we'll pick Colby Eaglin here as well for the main events. But here we go, 250 main event, ready to drop the gate here in East Rutherford. 15 minutes plus a lap. And it's round number 8 of their championship coming at you right now. Here we go from East Rutherford, 250 main. Into turn number 1 we go. Antonio Velotti's got a great jump on the 175. He's controlling it to the corner, and he gets the whole shot. Antonio Velotti, EVP Honda, out front. He triples into the corner and holds on to it. Jared Gummison second. Nygren third. Looks like Padani there in fourth it is, as Ben Kafa tries to jump into the picture as well. Padani with a good start, getting cross-jumped, and goes down. Padani goes down, and there's a huge opportunity for some of these guys out front as Velotti's going to lead the first lap.
Yeah, I was going to say, honestly, though, Kellen, this first lap or this start doesn't mean too much to me with how much carnage I saw in this 250 class, besides maybe Padani, but going down early, he's going to be starting from way behind. I just think this 250 class is going to change, I would say, lead 15 times here tonight in these 15 minutes. These guys are just so hectic, but maybe Antonio Velotti can take this really good start, just settle into a groove and kind of pull away. The top 10 right now, man, is really shaken up in this 250 class, but such a good first lap and start from Velati.
Yeah, Velati trying to sneak away. Update on Cade Matherly, 14th for him. Looks like Padani back into 9th after that early fall, so trying to make some quick recovery for him as Velati gets sideways on landing that triple in. Here comes Jared Gummison, who won his heat race earlier tonight, and maybe we weren't talking enough about that because he's now on to Velati for the race lead. Velati off the track. Gummison thought about a move, doesn't go for it, and Velati holds on to the race lead at least for the time being. But how about Jared Gummison tonight, the 57 Defenders program? Man, I don't feel like we even really thought about him for a main event win, but he's up here trying to battle for it right now.
Yeah, Gummison is just absolutely on fire as well. It's just it's cool when you see some guys just that haven't really been there multiple kind of races or throughout the series, and then you just see a night where they are just on fire. And I think Gummison is just kind of one of those guys tonight. Ooh, as we saw Vial earlier in the 450 class, Gummison kind of feels the same way. Feels like this could be his night and he might take this thing home. Our predictions not looking too good, but I do have faith that Padani and Matherly can work their way up. Padani up to 6th, Cade in 9th. But right now, this is all on Gummison chasing down Velati, who looks amazing as well.
Yeah, I'm very impressed so far with Antonio Velati. Hashtag still cattywampus, but not really proven to be such in the race lead. He's going to lead the first 3 laps of this shindig out front and looking pretty in control so far, but obviously a lot can change, especially hitting the whoops 2 times every lap for about maybe 18 or so laps. Nygren is the rider in the 3 spot, and then it's Ben Kefa in 4th. Johnny Padani has climbed into the top 5 now ahead of Sonny Spicer, who just got actually passed up. Timur moves out into 6th, and then Spicer 7th, Branson 8th, Matherly is in 9th, and Bodie Parker rounds out the top 10. Championship perspective-wise, this is turning into a pretty good one for Cade Matherly once again because Padani is not too far up the road from him. He's going to get another freebie right there, move into 8th. And another mistake right there for Sonny Spicer. That's going to allow Matherly to get into 7th, so he's going to try to get Branson. He's going to cut underneath right there, double in, but should be good to do the alternate line. And Matherly's coming through the field pretty good as well.
Yeah, I mean, when you make a small mistake like that, like Cade did, jumping deep into that, almost getting into the rear of Branson, it's really nice when the guy behind you is unable to get the line. So you're going for an alternate line, knowing you're losing a little bit of time on the guy ahead of you, but the guy that's right behind you or even next to you isn't kind of just passing you back instantly. So was able to make that pass, and no harm, no foul for him. Just one rhythm section that he had a small mistake in or wasn't able to do the line, but now he's back rolling, focusing forward, and got a lot of bright colors to look at. Might get some tunnel vision there, might get stoned looking at the back of Branson's bike, but I think he's going to be able to work his way by him quick, and Cade looks very smooth in these whoop sections, so that's kind of one of the most important things. Those 2 whoops in this next rhythm section upcoming, and I think Cade and a lot of these guys, so much less carnage. I would assume that, like I said earlier, a lot of them practice these sections, the whole track, but most importantly, those that were giving them all fits.
Mistake for Branson allows Matherly to the inside. Oh, and he whips in his face over the Supercross triple to move up into 6th place. A nice move right there for the number 25, your championship leader on the Twizy KTM. Nygren still 5th. Padani has moved into 4th. Ben Kefa 3rd. And here is your lead battle. Still pretty close between Antonio Velati and the number 57 of Jared Gummison. So far, so good in the whoops, but there's a little bit of a teeter-totter there for Antonio Velati. Gummison keeping it close. If you're either one of these guys right now, actually, which position of these 2 would you prefer to be in?
I like Velati. I think, is a small mistake right behind him as Gummison goes wide, but Velati then misses this section as well. So them both kind of making mistakes. This gap has been between 1 and 2 seconds the whole race. I think both of them, a couple small mistakes, just take a deep breath. You have the lead. You've had it for 5 minutes now, so a third of the way through the race, you're still leading. I think Velati's in a really good spot here, and he looks like he's just hitting his marks, not kind of pushing with crazy speed. He does have the fastest lap of the race, so I guess he does have crazy speed over everyone else. But man, he's just in the flow state right now. I think if you can keep it on 2 wheels and avoid lappers, I think he might be able to take this thing home quite easily in the next 10 minutes.
Well, he did have the fastest lap of the race. That has been usurped by the number 35 of Johnny Padani, 53 flat for the number 35 machine last time by. So he's up into 4th place, starting to put some heat on Ben Kefa right now, trying to get into 3rd. There's Padani to the outside on that Yamaha, the underground RC machine. Gets up onto the table, gets off, and rider down in front of him is a lapper. He'll just tuck to the inside, get out of the way. See Padani going an alternate line right here, just playing it safe because Kefa was taking the main line, didn't want to kind of follow him in, so he'll triple to the outside right here, hit this berm, and keep it close at least, but Kefa doing a good job of holding him at bay for the time being. It is Velati, Gummison, Kefa, Padani, and Cade Matherly has now moved into 5th place. So you'll see a flash of that KTM there in the background. He just got around Brandon Nygren back there as well as we continue to watch this fight for 3rd place. And actually, they've closed up on Gummison a little bit this last time by. 54.8 for Kefa was a whole second faster than the 57 of Gummison. Here's Padani in the whoops for 3rd place. He's got it. Down the inside, a nice move by Johnny Padani.
Yeah, unreal drive through the whoops, and Gummison down, so that moves him straight up into 2nd. Padani was also 9 seconds back just a lap or 2 ago, and now with throwing down some heaters, he's only 5 seconds off of the lead. So Velati, I like the position he was in over Gummison, but now with Johnny Padani breathing down your neck, putting down some fast laps, hitting quads like it's nobody's business back here, he's going to have some heat on his tail soon, as long as Padani can keep making it work. Matherly up into 4th place behind Kefa, 2 seconds behind each other, all the way up there. So, man, Padani's going to be throwing down some heaters, but you're going to start to see that gear of Cade Matherly a little bit more in the background of these shots as he slowly works his way up. And this battle is crazy, but Padani is not gaining the championship points that he really needs. But, man, I mean, he's going out there trying to win the race and doing the best that he can, just letting the rest unfold around him.
And Matherly has moved into 4th place in the background as well, so that is another story to watch when it comes to how this championship dynamic is coming into play. He's actually pretty much right behind Ben Kefa right now. Yeah, Kefa made a little bit of a mistake, so Matherly is all over him trying to get into 3rd. Oh, Matherly down! Cased the tabletop right there, trying to get onto the table. Oh, that's huge because he's going to lose a lot of spots. Gummison goes by. Branson goes by. He's going to get up just as Bodie Parker gets there, and Parker is going to triple down the inside to move him back to 7th place as well. So suddenly, this becomes a very big opportunity for Johnny Padani if he can win this race. 4.2 second gap up to the leader, Antonio Velati, but 21 points back in the championship right now. And if he can win this thing without a top 5 result for Cade Matherly, suddenly we have a championship to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really thinking about it before because you thought that Cade would just slowly work his way up and keep kind of knocking on the door of more positions and closing this thing up. But Padani can get to the lead, man. He hasn't really changed the time in a lap or 2, but, I mean, that's really good. This 250 class, not as close as the 450s are. He's 18 seconds back and still in 6th. Padani would hope that with a big crash like that, kind of from the position he would be maybe in 10th or worse. But so it's harder to make up points in this 250 class when it's more spread out. But Padani's doing the best that he can, and now has it down. Ooh, must have been a mistake by Velati because now it's within 2 seconds.
Yeah, that was a lapper right there that just kind of hung both of them up a little bit. But we are past halfway into this race. 9 minutes of this race has been completed. 6 minutes and a lap left to go basically at this point, so it's pretty much a heat race from here. Can Padani run down Antonio Velati as they head into the whoops here on the 11th lap of the race? Lap traffic also starting to come into play a little bit right here. There's a group of 3 riders right now in front of Velati that he's really got to be methodical about working by. One of them looks like they're going to move aside and really let him just go on by pretty smoothly right there. But if you're Velati, this is starting to become a bit of a high heart rate situation as he jumps into the top blocks a little bit. He's short on the triple. That's going to be a big time loss right there.
Yeah, another rider down in that section. Hopefully Padani didn't get into him. Padani did lose a little bit of time, though, working his way through those lappers, so that mistake in the rhythm section didn't hurt him too much. Went up to over 2 seconds, now just under 2 seconds. So these guys are yo-yoing a little bit, but both looking really good. I think Velati, like you said, very high heart rate, starting to get nervous. It's almost 10 minutes on the clock right now, so 5 minutes plus a lap to go. And I think this is when it starts kind of set in that this is real and you can be going out there and getting a win. So he's got to kind of lock in here, and as the lappers come, it's going to get way harder to kind of focus.
Oh, lapper really blocking him right there, and here comes Padani on that Yamaha in the background, getting closer. This lapper really not doing anyone favors right now. Padani tried to cut underneath, then the lapper looked like he was trying to move out of the way. He still is not out of the way just yet. Will Padani triple in? No, he's doubling in, and there's guys behind him tripling in that are not for position. That's Cepeda and Dallaire that are laps down, getting lapped and still battling with Padani, who's kind of all over the place, trying to not get hit by them. almost jumps off the track, and this is starting to screw with the leaders a little bit. Velati finally has some clean air, and that's going to be a huge help, but man, these guys are struggling with the lappers.
Yeah, I think it's really hard. Velati obviously has so much clean air, but Padani going outside there, trying to just take nice, smooth lines, and then maybe he wouldn't have made that small mistake before the triple if they weren't kind of shoving up the inside. Now he's rushing everything that he's used to just kind of being in the flow state. It's really difficult when you have these guys that are a three-man battle.
Velati! No, he's down and he's off the bike from the race lead, and Padani goes right through. He's got lap traffic still right on his hip, but he's now out front of this main event, and Johnny Padani takes the race lead. Unbelievable. Velati back to second, Keifa third, and Matherly trying to get on the box. But, oh man, if you're Antonio Velati, you've got to be so pissed right now.
Yeah, I mean, really pissed just at yourself, at, any lapper situation, anything that kind of got in your head that kind of led to that mistake right there. Just a bummer. You led so long after such a great start. There is still time on the clock, Kellen, and there are still lappers around there. You saw Dylan Delaire and another rider kind of all over Padani, not letting him really catch a break or have those insides to him. So it's really hard for either of these guys to focus. I think Velati now is just going to kind of put the hammer down, try to push as hard as he can, and try to work his way through. Being the second one through lappers sometimes is a little bit easier. They kind of know there's already someone coming and they've already moved over, but right now just one in between them and a lot of time to make up.
Yeah, so Velati's still bouncing through the whoops, a little bit out of shape, and now Padani is back on the charge a little bit, even tripling into this rhythm section, which he had not been doing most of the race, checking up and doing more of the safe lines, but he's got the lead and he's trying to run away with this thing. The problem for Padani here is Matherly has made it all the way back to third, and he's not out of the question to still get second in this race. So 21 points, got it down to 16 right now with 2 races still to go after this. But if you're Padani, you got to be like, come on, man, I worked so hard to get this lead in the first place, and now it might not even really gain me that many points.
Yeah, I mean, he was so far back around 10th and Matherly, but further back behind him, and you work your way up to the lead, and especially with Cade going down there pretty early in this race, but you're hoping that you can get just a couple more points, maybe 10 points, right? And then he's sitting there thinking, okay, let me do that. I don't even have to do it that big the next 2 rounds, but let me just go out there, get wins, and then slowly pick away. I can get this thing. Cade Matherly putting himself in the best spot. Velati down, so now that's Cade Matherly up into second place, 12 seconds off the lead. We'll get pretty close if there is a fall-off crash by Padani. Probably won't overtake the spot, but Cade is in the best spot that he can possibly be without winning this race, really eliminating the championship points loss, and a bummer for Padani, even though he's worked so hard to get to this spot if he takes it home.
Well, we called it pretty damn good, Wood, because I had Matherly and you had Padani, and they're running 1-2 in this race right now, but incredible stuff for both of them to get to this position in the first place. Padani, first lap crash, ends up outside the top 10, and he's leading this race with 2 minutes still to go. Lapper getting back on the track right in front of him, very close right there for Padani, and still Lapper's going down all around him. Someone front flipping, doesn't know the blue flag's there, so Padani's just trying to play it safe and not get hit, and he's going to get almost hit from alongside, and Lappers are jumping by him, and it's just absolute chaos. But yeah, Matherly also coming from outside of the top 15 to be second in this race right now. Incredible work by both of them, and just I think goes to show why they are 1-2 in this championship.
Yeah, I mean, both these guys just able to pick their way through the field. So much racing experience, race sense, and speed in general, but man, it's so tricky. It honestly, it makes me want to hold my breath whenever I see Johnny Padani look, he's right in between 4 guys right here and just trying to get past. You have so much time left. Luckily, Lapper pulls over for him. So nice of that to happen right there. Just try to slowly work your way away. You have 8 seconds still on Cade after working through all those riders there. So just kind of lock in. Hopefully these whoops are getting beat down a little bit easier for them, and just kind of bring this thing home. Just over a minute to go, plus a lap for Johnny Padani. An unreal race as he slides out, not off the bike, but now he is going to be behind all 4 of those guys he just worked his way through, and they're not going to let him by as easily as they did the first time, Kellen.
And he cases that triple. You're absolutely right. This could become critical right here in this race with time now expired. He's trying to weave through the lappers, and suddenly Matherly is only 2.8 seconds back. He's going to get through a huge group of them right there. That was massive to make some of those passes, but he's jumping into the tough blocks. It's starting to get nervous, although I saw Matherly just go off the track the other direction. Oh, don't get landed on by, I think that's João Victor. Got to be close right there. White flag in the air. Johnny Padani has got 1 lap to win here in East Rutherford and make it back-to-back wins. He won the showdown in Philly last week, Can he win East Rutherford tonight and inch a little bit closer in the championship? It's a 3-second advantage. Got to get through the whoops clean to make this thing happen.
Yeah, you see him right there. Cade is absolutely pushing, but man, they have the lapper between them and lappers in front of them. Some people go down, so Padani gets some clean air. Lapper right on his heels, unable to get the step on line. This is going to make him a little bit slower. That lapper's now back in front of him with Cade right on his tail. No, Cade went down.
Yeah,
Cade is down hard.
So 8 seconds back now. Should be good to
breather.
go for Johnny Padani, and he probably saw that gap go out, breathe a huge sigh of relief, and probably stopped worrying too much about the lap traffic chaos around him. Well, for the third time this season, the checkered flag will wave for the 35 machine. He's inch closer in the championship. Not enough just yet, but he's closer. Johnny Padani takes the win here tonight in East Rutherford and gets the job done. Cade Matherly did everything he could do to get this thing close. He'll end up second, maintain an 18-point championship lead. And hey, shout out Antonio Vellotti. First career podium for him. He led so much of this race. He probably should be a little bit bummed in that regard as well. But a podium is still a podium, and congrats to him.
Yeah, Mercked out here shredding. Jared Gummison comes across in fourth. Man, Vellotti got to be so pumped on that podium, even after the start and leading for so long. Bodie Parker comes across in fifth. I lied. Ben Kafa, sixth. Garrett Hollenbeck, seventh. Killiam Ortiz about to come across the line in eighth. No real pressure on him, and they lapped up to ninth. So that is going to be the last one around on the lead lap. Cody Branson, 10. Maverick Snyder, or at 9th. Maverick Snyder, 10th. Emmanuel Cepeda, 11. Nerona, 12. Nygren, 13. Cooper, 14. Spicer, 15. Delaire, 16. K-Dog Morton, 17. I was panicked. Dominic Bellini, 18. Tyler Moore through the LCQ, 19. João Victor, 20. And J.R. Reyes, 21. Gomez, 22. And cuts, but nothing probably up front.
Nothing really changed. Johnny Padani, your big winner here in East Rutherford. Well done to
called
Prod.
it.
Prod on top. Yeah, you did call it.
Johnny Tsunami
I feel
Padani.
like I got to pay you the whatever he... I don't know. What did he say? $50 donation? There it is. Hey, Whisker Biscuit with a $60 donation.
Later, Whisker Biscuit!
Says, great job, guys. I know I'm not hooked up to my Discord right now to do the drop, but we got the later Whisker Biscuit drop that we use all the time. Big thanks to Whisker Biscuit, $60 donation. Hey, I mean, we called 1 and 2, so I mean, I get it. A little bit of extra flair added to that. Definitely appreciate it, Whisker Biscuit. And thank you guys so much for all the continued support that you guys give us here. All right, 450 main event coming up next. And this is going to be a good one. Again, Leclerc, Eaglin, Braden Carter, Seth Shirley did make it into the main event. Who else we got out there tonight? My goodness. Jeremy Siebel, Jake Spees, Tanner Rogers, Seth Carr, Austin Schaefer, Pablo Vial, Wyatt Grant, Braden Tharp, Joey Carter, Jacob Hubbard, Jeremy Schiavro, Caleb Hall, John Heilman, Braden Castellaneta, Caden Speck, Alec Horn, Jax Lindsay, and Jacob Arnbrister also heading to the gate as well to bring us round 14 of MotoOption Supercross and MX Simulator Pro Racing Championship. Who you got? It was Leclerc, right?
Leclerc, you have Eagland. We have already nailed 1, 2. So we had pretty good picks.
Yeah.
Felt a little bit like a layup, but honestly, like, you got to nail it. I nailed it. But this 250 class is just so all over the place. I think this is going to be the hard one to kind of lock in. Someone said we have 18 whoops on the track and we didn't pick the whoop god, Braden Carter, and they are correct. I mean, Braden Carter has unreal speed, unreal consistency through the whoops, and but I just feel like sometimes you got to go with your gut, and Alexis Leclerc looked great in that heat race, and I feel like momentum is a real thing. Braden Carter might be playing it a little bit safe with championship lead that he has, but yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised if he came out and dominated in that sexy pink FXR gear, pink and purple.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is Carter's starts have been terrible. We've talked about it so much coming into tonight, and he had another terrible one in the heat race. So he's got to get off the gate good to get into this fight to win the main event, and he could do that if he gets a good start right here, right now. It's round 14 of MotoOption Supercross. It is 20 minutes plus a lap, and we are going to have someone winning this race here in about 21 minutes' time. Here we go. The Flames are charged up and ready to drop the gate. 30 card sideways. Here we go in New Jersey.
Ooh, someone hit the gate on 37 machine.
Alec
Vial.
Horn hits the gate. It's Jacob Hubbard who gets to the first corner first, but it's Caden Speck who goes a little wide and gets the whole shot anyway. It's Speck from Hubbard and Leclerc who jumps up into second place, takes it away right away. Seth Carr third, Eaglin fourth. I'm trying to see if I see the one. I do not. He's outside of the top 15 as Speck leads on the opening lap.
Yeah, Speck with a great start. Leclerc also, but Hubbard up the inside. Oh, almost.
Oh, they get together.
Whoa,
And
Hubbard whipped
goes
it.
down.
Leclerc went straight, and it worked out for Leclerc. That was awesome by that. Great start to this 450 main event here tonight.
All
We have
right.
a special visitor coming in studio. Let's see what she has to say
All
tonight.
right. My daughter's in studio. What do you got to say?
But not every races.
Good night, every racers, and hopefully they're about to have a great night,
night,
here in
Holly.
this main event as Speck leads on the opening lap. It is Speck, Leclerc, Carr, Eaglin inside of the top 5. Braden Carter's 16th at the end of lap 1 for the champ. Look at that drive through the whoops for Caden Speck. You think he's not fired up to try to go win this main event? Look at him go.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I've said it before. If it's your night, it's your night. I mean, we saw Velati absolutely crushing it, just a couple mistakes late. He's got some speed behind him, Carr, Leclerc, Eaglin, Vial. But, man, Caden Speck, such a great start. I think if he can just calm his nerves and kind of keep it smooth and consistent on this track, I think he can bring it home on that sexy 69 machine. Just feels nice seeing that up front.
It does. It really does. It is Seth Carr, though, who's tightening up the gap. Excuse me. Carr's tightening up the gap. Remember, Carr has won twice this year. This is your reigning 250 national champion in the game and was probably going to be the SMX champion
Carter,
in the 250
18.
class until he kind of threw it away a little bit. And yes, Braden Carter's having an atrocious start to his night as Seth Carr tries to go for the race lead, not able to do so just yet. Leclerc third, Eaglin fourth. And boy, oh boy, could this be a big night. Seth Carr's going down. He saves it. He barrel rolls and saves it. He loses 2, 3, 4 positions, but it could have been so much worse. Now Leclerc just had a bobble. John Heilman's jumping up alongside of him. Leclerc fights back to the inside. Heilman's going to try to shut the door into this corner. Leclerc's got the optimal inside line, and he controls it on exit. But that moves Eaglin up to second, and with Carter still 16th, this is turning into a big opportunity for the 24.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting. I know it's your pick, but man, I'm rooting for Eaglin right here. Bring this thing down to the wire. Give us one close championship points race that maybe comes down to the last race, and I think Colby Eaglin has a chance to do it here tonight. It's still so early. We still have 17 minutes plus laps, so I mean, it's really, really early here, but Colby Eaglin putting himself in the best spot that he can be. That was not the leader down. Yes, it was. That was Caden Speck down in the corner after the whoop. So Leclerc second. Eaglin in the first, Caden Speck got up in third, Seth Carr fourth, right on his tail. And look at that, our 2 predictions, 1 and 2, Kellen. We're absolutely crushing it.
Throw the flag. Just leave it like
red
this.
flag it. It's final.
Oh my goodness, that would be insane if it stays this way. There's a bit of a gap between them, so I do want to go back and find our current points leader and 4-time defending champion Braden Carter. Once again, another bad start. Ryder going down in front of him, and he's into him and down. So another mistake for Carter. I mean, nothing he could do there. Ryder down and just happens to go into them. But man, if you're Braden Carter, this he's got to kind of get a move on. We still have 16 minutes of racing to go, and he's got plenty of time, I guess. But the gaps are getting bigger. He is already 25 seconds off the race lead 3 laps into this thing.
That's the thing. Normally we see him on 16, 17, 18 on the first lap, but it's maybe a 8-second gap. Now he's gone down multiple times. It's over 25 seconds that he actually has to overcome. And I mean, the field does get spread out a little bit, but this 450 class, not as much as the 250 class. So I think he's got to make some moves early. The further we see him, or the longer we see him this far back, the more it's just going to keep hurting him. Obviously, that last crash, he had literally nothing he could do about it, but that's what happens when you put yourself in a bad position off the start. You have to work your way through. You have slower riders that crash more, and that's just the reality of it, and it's hard to kind of predict where they're going to go, where they're going to fall, and you can't just hit your normal lines like you could if you're maybe up inside the top 5. Another, almost small mistake by him, but a small mistake for the rider in front of him, so he almost hits him again, and Carter is got to be freaking out right now.
Yeah, that was Jackson Lindsay that got a little bit sideways, but Carter is able to sneak by him. He's now 13th. Pablo Vial just picked it up in 12th from a crash as Jeremy Schiabro goes by. Seth Carr's all the way back to 10th. Heilman in 9th. Wyatt Grant 8th. Jacob Hubbard 7th. Joey Carter, good run for him in 6th, and it might be 5th. Yes, down the inside of Tanner Rogers. Look at this fight right here. Carter going nose high. Rogers different lines with Hubbard down the inside.
Oh my God.
Almost getting passed by Austin Schaefer. Schaefer then blows the inside corner. Carter's off the track. Rogers is trying to get back by him as Hubbard gets by Schaefer in the background.
Well, we got
and a
7
rider
people
down right there. Is that for position? It is Caden Speck. Yes, Speck goes out from up near the front all the way back to 9th or 8th, actually, just in front of Heilman. Man, oh man, that was some serious chaos, and it moved all these guys up a position as suddenly Caleb Hall is in a podium spot, 9 seconds off our leaders.
Yeah, I mean, with all these guys in this tight battle, though, and going down over and over again, Kellen, we see Braden Carter moving up into 12th position and gaining time 24 seconds off the lead, but the position that he's in, he can easily gain 5, 6, 7 spots if these battles go sideways here. So he's got to just kind of hold on to it and just kind of keep working on staying on 2 wheels and working forward. Caleb Hall right now pulling away from Joey Carter just a little bit.
We have a change for the lead. Sorry to cut you off, but Colby Eaglin and Leclerc have gone back and forth a little bit, and suddenly the fight is on for the race lead here in East Rutherford. So how about this? These two have found their way to the front as we continue to track Braden Carter's progress. Look at Leclerc to the inside. Doesn't get the nose there just yet as Eaglin leads across the line on lap number 8. Back and forth we go, though. Look at Leclerc's run out of the corner here. Who's better in the whoops is what it might come down to.
Yeah, and I honestly think they both are the same. I feel like they're both smooth, consistent, but carry so much speed on those 450s, just like Braden Carter. We're used to seeing him not really much time to gain unless someone makes a big mistake. Small gains right there by Leclerc, but just trying to bring it in a little bit closer. But man, these two are 2 picks to win the race, are absolutely crushing it right now, separating themselves from the rest of the field by 10 seconds. So they have a lot of breathing room. Just focus on hitting your marks, putting down hot lap after hot lap as we see Leclerc quad up, get a little bit closer, and I think that might be to his benefit. He keeps slowly getting alongside him, revving his bike up and showing a nose to Eaglin, and that's just like that, jumping into the corner, going to get in his head little by little, and think we might see that force Eaglin into a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, he is all over him. We'll go on board with Leclerc to see his perspective. He's going to go to the inside now as well. In this corner, mistake for Eaglin off track, and Leclerc pounces just like that into the race lead. Alexis Leclerc, the 5-time national champion and 2018 MotoOption Supercross champ, is out front.
Call me Nostradamus because I can predict these races like I'm reading your palm, Kellen. Alexis Leclerc right here absolutely moving his way forward, and I think we're going to see him put the hammer down. Joey Carter still in third back there.
Yeah, that's a good race going on back there as well. Carter just got around Caleb Hall to get into 3rd place. Pass by Austin Schaefer puts Hall down, and Rogers gets into the back of him, and he goes down as well. So we just saw a good little switch up right there. But Joey Carter into a podium on a 450 right now. Look at the big dog eat.
Yeah, you know what? Every time that we see one of those mistakes, when we go back just a little bit further in the field, Kellen, that's just helping that's helping Braden Carter work his way up in positions and the points. He just made a pass for 11th back there. So Joey Carter is another rider down right there, down hard. Joey Carter, though, he's been absolutely on fire maybe these last 3 or 4 rounds that we've seen him, and just kind of finding his home in this 450 class. And in Supercross, just crushing it. Wyatt Grant, too, normally in the 250 class, moves up. He's right behind him in 4th. So these youngins, man, they're starting to get in here and spice it. We might see the future of Supercross champions here battling it out and getting some good results towards the end of the series.
Yeah, this is insane. Look at the run that Wyatt Grant has got to get to the rear fender of Joey Carter. I thought Carter must have been thinking like, oh, I'm in 3rd. I got some breathing room. I'm riding pretty well. And just like that, he's got the 2nd fastest qualifier right up on his heels as Carter almost gets into the pixie stick right there. And for those of you fans just joining us at home, any Josh Grant fans out there, any of you, this is his son, Wyatt. In the 4 spot right now, trying to move into a podium, looking to get his first career 450 podium in the game. Young buck himself, 13 years old still, I think, but obviously very talented in this game and putting the heat on Joey Carter, trying to get into the podium position.
Yeah, I mean, this is the best battle we have right now as far as how close they are on the track. The lead still within 2 seconds, but look at this. Wyatt Grant so close. Look at this whoop speed, but he has entry speed.
And Carter goes down.
Joey Carter was getting yanked right there by him anyways, but just wasn't able to keep it together as his rear wheel starts slapping back and forth, getting a little bit of huckabuck as Wyatt Grant moves in to a sole 3rd place position here. And man, he is absolutely hits it.
He lands in the top box and goes down. So now Caleb Hall is going to get there. I think Grant's going to pick it up still. Oh, he's right there for 3rd as Caleb Hall goes by. Joey Carter back to 5th. Hubbard 6th has, who's that to his outside? John Heilman in 7th. Seth Shirley has climbed all the way into 9th right behind Tanner Rogers. He's making good progress through the field. Braden Carter is still in 14th place, people. I don't know what's going on with the one right now, but it's not good. Not good at all. I think this would be him picking up 7 points if he stays right here in 14th, whereas Eaglin's getting 22. So he would be gaining 15 points on him in one race, and remember, he's only 22 points back. So this is a bit of a disaster right now for the champ halfway through this main event.
Yeah, it's showing him 12th now, timing and scoring, if that's completely updated. What's crazy, though, Kellen, I mean, and look, he's got these guys right on his tail. I think the pressure's not completely gone, as he's definitely putting some pressure on himself to keep making up points, keep putting down heaters, and working his way up, and I think that's biting him. Ooh, as he gets a little bit of huckabuck in the whoops, Ryder's coming up behind him. He's normally pulling away from guys. Just got to keep it on two wheels. I do think, though, as Schiavro puts down a charge, Kellen, and shows a wheel, we're only 10 minutes into this race, and I feel like we say this so much about Braden Carter. He's way back. He's outside the top 10, and he ends up in 5th or better. So I think maybe he does it, but is this the race that he finally has a poor finish, allows Eaglin to actually gain the points and make this thing a real race down to the wire? Tonight might be it, but Braden Carter's trying to change that.
Oh, he missed. Does he case the finish line? Yes, he does, and Schiavro's going to jump right by him. I was just about to say, as Schiavro makes a little bit of a bobble right there. Look, they're teammates now, but these two hated each other last year, Schiavro and Carter. Carter absolutely demolished him at Anaheim 1. Schiavro paid him back later in the season. I forget which race. But I was curious to see if Schiavro would race him tough. And now Carter's down at the exit of the whoop. So another big crash for the number 1 machine. He goes behind Spies. He goes behind Castellaneta. Let's see if Vial goes by. Yes, he does. And Leclerc just lapped him. So he just got put a lap down by the race leader on the 7. Man, this is a disaster right now.
I mean, the problem with that too, Kellen, is if Leclerc stays on the lead lap and stays in front of him, and Braden Carter's not on the lead lap, it's minimizing the chances that Braden Carter can go and get more positions. So, I mean, or you're hoping that Leclerc goes and laps up to 5th, and you can get up to 6th, 5th, or 6th place by being the last guy lap and just put like your nose to his tail. I think that's what he needs to do, is just lock in, look at the rear wheel of Leclerc, and start putting down heaters. If you can get by him because there's a small mistake, make it happen. But Leclerc's been perfect this whole race, as so has Colby Eaglin, who's behind him. I think you guys just lock in, act like you're riding in 1st or 2nd in this race, and keep lapping as many people as possible, which are positions for Braden Carter as he gets another one right there.
Yeah, that might be the best thing for him, really,
Blue
is that
flag
Leclerc's
passing
doing
too.
this, but now Carter goes down.
God,
he gets
over.
landed on. I think that was Caden Speck, and a couple more riders going by. Pablo Vial, I believe, was one of them going through. Well, there's Vial and Speck going by, so Carter's all the way back to 16th place, and he's no longer right in the toe of our race leaders. So the chaos is commencing. Seth Shirley just went down over the finish line jump with Jacob Hubbard. That is 8th place right now for Shirley. Hubbard drifts back to 10th as John Heilman shoots into 7th. Seth Carr 6th. Caleb Hall 5th. Rogers 4th, getting picked up, or going by Wyatt Grant, who just picked up from a crash right there. He was in 3rd. He is now back to 5th behind Caleb Hall, getting going in this battle. Rogers now into a podium spot. But hey, I'll tell you one thing about what's going on.
Through the LCQ?
I think so, yeah. But I'll tell you one thing about what's going on for Braden Carter's situation. If he doesn't have anything else get worse from here, this guy right here is 33 seconds off the lead. There's a chance he even gets lapped based on the way that this race has gone. So if you're Carter, just hang tough, maybe make some late passes, might still get up into the top 10 because these guys are way back already.
Yeah, I mean, I think along with that, pointing that out 34 seconds to the lead right now is just how dominant that Colby Eaglin and Alexis Leclerc have been. It's crazy that our predictions for the lead have been so good, but less than 1 second between these two. They're definitely feeding off each other's speed and consistency here tonight, just absolutely dominating the rest of the field. No one else even close, and yeah, lapped all the way up to 12th place right now, and we'll see how far they can keep it going. There's still 6 minutes plus a lap left in this race, Kellen, and they're like 70. Oh, Leclerc slides out, doesn't go down off the bike, but that allows Eaglin into the lead. So now your prediction is right. We are just out here. I don't think, though, I will say it right now, I don't think that one of us is going to be wrong with the 35-second lead that these guys have over third.
Man, this is insane what these two are putting down, and now Eaglin's deep in the lap traffic right now. Just lapped Jeremy Seabolt right behind him, his teammate on the number 10. The 78 of Jacob Hubbard in front of him is 11th place right now that they're trying to lap up to. So this is some serious guys that they're trying to pass and get through the field a little bit with. But obviously Leclerc is going to go back to work and try to inch that gap back down. Still just 2 seconds for Eaglin. But this is the optimal situation for Eaglin right now, because at worst he's going to get second. If he can win this race and maximize his points with Braden Carter still 15th place. I just can't even believe that right now. I think that would be 6 points he'd be picking up while Eaglin picks up 25. It was 22 points coming into this race. That'd be a 19 point swing right there alone. We'd be 3 points apart with 3 to go. Are you freaking kidding me?
This is, I mean, for everyone but Alexis or but Braden Carter, this is the best possible thing you could hope for this championship. It has seemed like a foregone conclusion for maybe the last 5 or 6 rounds. We've been like, halfway mark, it's kind of over. Can he get it to 2 times a race win? And just Braden Carter has been unable to close and make it happen. And Eaglin has just been able to hold on consistently right there, maybe gaining 2 or 3 points, losing 2 or 3 points, but always keeping it around this 20-point buffer. And this is the race. This is the straw that broke the camel's back right here, as Colby Eaglin is finally going to do it. Try to win a race and pray for that really bad finish by Braden Carter that we haven't seen since really early in the season. And, man, this is going to make these last couple rounds amazing for us to call every race in this championship battle, but amazing for all you guys to watch. And man, super awesome for Colby Eaglin as well to hopefully try to take this thing home with his consistency that he showed late.
And Tharp, Joey Carter going down in front of him, so he's now lapped up to 8th right now, just ahead of Seabolt still, who is in the 8th position. And there's more guys in front of that start moving out of the way. Insane. Yes, Jared Horace over on TikTok wanted to know, do we stream on Twitch or YouTube as well? Yes. You can head over to YouTube, Start Your Systems TV, and we're live over there, or Start Your Systems TV on Twitch. You can check us out there. Or if you go to Start Your Systems on Facebook, we are also live there. We're live in 4 places for you guys to watch wherever it is that you best prefer to watch MotoOption Supercross, Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and TikTok every single Wednesday night. So thanks everybody for tuning in and watching this race. This has been a good one for round 14 of this championship. Colby Eaglin continues to lead. It's a 5-second gap, and he has lapped all the way up to 8th. I just can't believe it. Braden Carter still 14th, by the way, 14th for the champ, and he's not making much inroads as Leclerc is in lap traffic hell back here. There are so many guys, but also what that could be, as we'll stick with Wyatt Grant versus Caleb Hall here for just a second. It could be an opportunity with all those lappers back there for Braden Carter to maybe make a few late passes and get a few more good spots.
Yeah, I think all those lappers being down and so much carnage we keep seeing as the lappers are making their way past, that's all people that are on the ground and available. Ooh, small mistake in front of Wyatt Grant as he avoids that, but available for Carter to keep sniping away points. So this points deficit that he's going to, well, he'll still have the lead, but the points he's going to lose this race are going to slowly kind of diminish. So every single person that we see down on the screen that's not Braden Carter is a really good sign for him. What's crazy is we have our guy in 6th place, Seth Carr, has the fastest lap of the race with a 51.117, and he is the last person on the lead lap. He is literally faster than the leaders as far as his 1 lap speed, but he is maybe 5 or 6 seconds from being lapped by these guys. Just absolutely crazy. Wyatt Grant, though, maybe the pressure is getting to him. 18 and a half minutes in this race. Caleb Hall trying to push. Wyatt Grant missing his marks on these rhythm sections. He's going short. He's going long. Just can't figure it out. Hopefully he can take a deep breath and hold on to it as he'll get his first career 450 podium here in one of his first career 450 races.
Yeah, also a quick question on TikTok that I wanted to hit on. These guys asked if they're competing for money. Yes, there is a purse involved in this that was put together by the reigning MX Simulator playoff champion, Luke Sullivan. $315, I think, for the 450 champion, $222 for second, and like 135 for third, I think. I could be dead wrong, but it's like somewhere around those numbers.
Whoa!
As Wyatt Grant just got totally screwed by a lapper coming from the opposite lane and getting into him. Now they're slow racing to the corner here. This is your battle for third place as Wyatt Grant versus Caleb Hall going at it through these whoop sections, and somewhat of a reprieve there that Hall couldn't get by because Wyatt Grant was a sitting duck for a sec.
Yeah, it kind of feels good when something like that happens. You know, you get into a guy that went down, he disconnected, he felt bad right away, but you're Wyatt Grant, you've been in third for such a long time.
Oh.
Ooh, now Caleb Hall trying to make a move around the outside, just getting a little bit closer. But it sucks when someone loses a position like that, so it's cool when you see Grant get slowed down and Hall get slowed down at the same time. So it's almost like it never happened. They just lost time on the guys in front of them, which doesn't matter because it's 30 seconds. Yes. Colby Eaglin, now his lead up to 13 seconds over Leclerc, so pretty much has this thing in the bag.
Caleb Hall to the inside for third. A little block pass, even slid it in there, showing Wyatt Grant a wheel. Meanwhile, the white flag is waving behind these guys. Unbelievable. As they battle for third place, the leader just went over the finish line, and Grant gets back by Caleb Hall into third place. What a fun battle this is. Another mistake, and Caleb Hall goes down, and Wyatt Grant gets hung up on the top of that jump. Seth Carr triples into third place out of nowhere. Back and forth we go for these positions. We'll get back to this battle in just a minute.
Caleb Hall
because
got lapped.
Yeah, we are on the last lap, and almost all these guys have been lapped now. Jeremy Siebold is still on the lead lap in 6th place, but Colby Eaglin's about to put the bow tie on this one and stamp this victory. A huge one, a perhaps championship defining one, as he goes from 22 points back to being right back within earshot of Braden Carter. Gap should be 3 points after this one because it's his third win of the year. Colby Eaglin takes it here tonight in East Rutherford in a huge, emphatic victory here at round 14. Alexis Leclerc should be second, and the fight for third is still on. Look at Wyatt Grant going for it on Seth Carr.
Yeah, Wyatt Grant is going to push. He gave up a gift by getting into some trouble right there. Seth Carr was literally going to be lapped along with Seth Shirley, and a bunch of stuff happened with multiple riders, and so that's how more people lead lap. Wyatt Grant goes down trying to hit. Didn't even try to hit the quad, just cased the triple right there, goes over the bars, and only going to lose one spot to Jeremy Siebold. But Seth Carr going to hold on to third place, podium position, and he's going to come across in third here in East Rutherford. Shirley all the way up to fourth after almost getting lapped. Siebold in fifth. And man, after an amazing race all the way into the last lap, Wyatt Grant comes across the last person on the lead lap in sixth.
That was insane. And yeah, everyone up to seventh got lapped. Castellaneta was a lap down. Nothing changes in our top six. But Castellaneta seventh, Hall eighth, Vial ninth, Heilman 10th, Hubbard, Carter, Rogers, Jake Spieth, Jax Lindsay, and Braden Carter 16th place. Wow. I cannot believe that. I hope someone on Race Factory gets results up quickly so we can talk about this, because what just happened? I can't believe that we now have this championship so close. Yeah, insane. It just went from, like we said, 22 points, I think, down to 3. And hey, shout out to Whisker Biscuit, $40 extra donated to us. He said, you guys definitely cheated. JK, LOL. How about 50 for each of you? Thank you so much, Whisker Biscuit, for the donations over there on the YouTube side. That
I didn't forget about you, Mark. Also, Mark said the same thing.
Mark
Where
said
you
the
at?
same thing. He hasn't posted his whatever it was donation yet. He said it was going to be a $20 donation, and he's not coming through. Obviously, it's all just in fun and incredible stuff nonetheless. I'm going to check to see if results are up before we pull it up real quick to see. No, they have not refreshed, but it was 22-point gap, and Carter got 16th, which I believe 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. He just picked up 6 points while Eaglin picked up 25. That's a 19-point swing. We have 3 points between them with 3 to go.
I mean, bummer for Braden. This is the best thing for us and for all of you guys watching, and also appreciate all of you guys, all the people watching till the end, all the new people on TikTok watching. I love reaching a new audience, Twitch, everywhere, Facebook, that you guys come out here. And man, that was just an absolutely insane race, and they restarted too. Hopefully that means points will be updated, because I'm pretty sure they have to do it that way. But dude, that was absolutely amazing. We nailed our picks, by the way. Both classes, we got 1 and 2. Now we have 3 races left. and just an absolute bloodbath to the finish in this point series. Hopefully Braden Carter can kind of figure it out, lock in, and be back to the guy that he is, because I do think that it would be amazing to watch him and Colby Eaglin bring this thing down to the wire. Man, the racing, there was maybe one bad heat. Everything else was just on fire tonight. So unreal. And that was awesome, Kellen. I love being here with you and watching these races.
Yeah, good stuff indeed. Also, big thanks over on TikTok. Osama bin Doggin just sent us 400, whatever those things are. I don't know if like they're coins or something, but thanks for that. Obviously goes into everything that we do over here. So yes, big thanks everyone over on the TikTok side. I'll quickly update you guys because points have come in, and then we'll show everyone over on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. But it is 3 points. Unbelievable. Thanks everyone for watching on TikTok. We'll send you guys on your way now. And insane stuff, no question about it. All right, so that's the end of our TikTok stream. Let's talk about this over here right now, because I normally don't keep this going all the way past the main events. We'll go to our intermission screen to talk about this, but holy crap, 3 points, bro. 3 points in this championship. I can't believe it.
If you told me that this was going to happen 6-7 rounds ago, when it was pretty much the same points gap between the guys, 18 or something was like the closest, so many guys, 20, 30, I would tell you that it happened by Braden Carter getting third every race and Eaglin getting second and Shirley and Carr and Leclerc mixing it up. The fact that he had held on to a lead for so long in this series and then finally comes through, and it is just an absolute blow-up race, which I also thought we had multiple times, but he worked his way up to third and then won the next one. So it was just like no change. It finally happened. Braden Carter blow up, went to shit. And Colby Eaglin, man, capitalized huge and really brought this thing down. And now, I mean, man, Shirley's got to be thinking what if as well.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, yes, like he's 29 points back, but you're right. Like if he wouldn't have made the main event, so like it doesn't make a difference. But
yeah,
yes,
if he made it, right, that LCQ blow up last time where Carter almost had this last week, had to do a block pass in the last corner to get fourth in it.
Yeah.
If Shirley would have got a better start in that LCQ, or you're looking back at that heat and all the thing that happened, it's been a slow lead up that's bleeding Carter away, and Shirley got bled out the round before, and now Colby Eaglin, man, he has all the momentum and all the confidence, because you've seen Carter have bad starts and bad finishes or have to work his way up when you've been consistent, and that's what Colby Eaglin is. We always say smooth, consistent, speed, good starts, and he's just always there, and he's not going to let you go.
Yeah, it's insane how this night broke down. What we're going to see of this championship fight now with 3 to go, because I don't think we've been 3 points apart with Braden Carter since maybe his first title year when he went at it with, I think, Alexis Leclerc back then. This is going to be absolutely insane. So we really hope you guys continue to join us. We'll be back next week for round 15 from Pittsburgh. First time we'll be there. That'll be fun to see how that track is. And then, of course, Denver and Salt Lake City to wrap this thing up. If you had to guess right now, Carter or Eaglin, who you got?
Carter's going to kill me. I think by sheer consistency, I think Eaglin might be able to squeak it out. I mean, they can trade wins 1 and 2 back and forth, and it's just whoever gets the extra one right now. And I don't even know who's winning on the tiebreaker of wins.
I think it's Carter. Carter has 5 wins, I think.
Got to be Carter, but maybe in a couple more, Eaglin gets up there.
Yeah.
He's got 2 or 3 now, so I think it might be momentum-wise. I think it could be Colby, and I'll be here every Wednesday to see, because this is getting insane, and it can happen either way. But man, it's awesome.
It is awesome.
Who do you got?
You know what? I'm going to say Carter still, because I think he comes back with a vengeance next week. I think he's going to put the hammer down. He's going to train a lot this week, as we say, which is basically just don't close the game. And we'll see him come back in Pittsburgh and try to put the hammer down. I mean, the starts is what's killing him. Like, he needs to get a good start. He has not been getting good starts, and we'll see if he can do it next week. But either way, man, this is going to be a fantastic end to this championship. So I'll go Carter, but you'll go Eaglin. We'll see what happens.
I'll go Eaglin. I want to see where their gate picks were. I wish someone, if Lane or iMoto in chat, can let me know where their gate picks were somehow. If anyone has the demo, or I'll go back. But I feel like it could have been a gate pick selection there.
Maybe.
And always going inside isn't the move.
Yeah, maybe indeed. All right, that's going to do it for us here for round 14 of MotoOption Supercross from East Rutherford. What a night of racing. Many congratulations, of course, to Johnny Padani winning in the 250 class, Colby Eaglin winning in the 450 class, and incredible night, no question about it. 3 rounds to go. We hope you guys join us every Wednesday, 6:15 p.m. Pacific, 9:15 p.m. Eastern from here on out, all the way to the March to Salt Lake City in 3 weeks' time. But we appreciate you guys tuning in to round 14 nonetheless, and we'll see you guys soon. So long for now.